and ever so carefully. Quietly, the shots ring out and he misses. Pistols can face him, wrap the corner, get the kill. Mopozmo's down 2 more. AWP will fight alongside just USP, but just without the firepower, really relies on Jerks to get anything done here.
Putting pressure down. AWP comes through successfully, and this looks okay. You still got a player, Roman, with a 5-7.
Also Saul caught off guard for it. Advantage. AK picked up. Oh, he's got the headshot on Alex. No way, guys. Not again.
Don't tell me it's going to be 3 still.
Wow.
Single
More.
half coming
AWP
through
will
for
fight
Saul.
alongside just you.
What a 5-7 display out there from Roman. Aggressive towards A main. Needed everything. Both of those connections, and he grants exactly that.
6 shots from the 5-7 and the AWP to close it. So just don't want to let this go, do they? Not the lead, not now. Tactical taken by Movistar Riders again. Another massive backhand from the Portuguese squad. And what do you do to respond to these, right? Because they get such great follow-up rounds as well, but then they just lose the follow-up force buys or eco bases. So many of them have gone the way of Saw so far. I don't know what to make of this situation anymore.
Well, it's been 8 rounds back and forth of individuals, and it's been 3 steals in one half, which is wild. It does not happen very often at all. Movistar Riders, I guess for their sake, they just know dig deep, because in the rifle rounds, they've had them. There's been no question there. This second half, they have led in the rifle rounds. It's just been the anti-ecos and anti-half buys where they've struggled.
Smoke sent, Nays down, Alex tagged initially. Another broken force up, Movistar Riders. AWP Story picks up the bomb carrier, the first man forward. That's information gain, rotations called. Story continues to spray on Saul. 8 HP for him, and just the Galil wrapping the corner. Mopoz caught Saul, can't get that trade back to respond here. Looking for that bomb to go down. Jerks striking back towards mid, alongside Muteris here. 4-on-2 situation, low HP across the CT board, but not much better for Movistar here.
Now, Martinez was even trying to retreat, try and get himself in a position where he could gather that bomb and even fight towards a mid-control, help his teammate out of trouble. But this is the all-important round that Saul were looking for, and I think this is the ticket to closing the map now. 14-12, then 15-12. No bomb plant should come through here for the Riders at all.
Jerks gets forced away at least, but Story's there with the AWP posted for the shot. Map point at last for Saw. Movistar Riders fighting valiantly, but I think you were right about that steal, Dweg. I think that might be good enough. Look at the money here for the seed side.
It's going to be very rough. And it might even be quite quick from Movistar Riders, just knowing that you've got a lot of Tech 9s, you've got an upgraded dig from Martinez, you got some util around it. Saw, no, this is the closing one. This is the perfect opportunity to get the job done, to send it into map 2 of Overpass.
Inbound AWP set towards mid-control, backed up by the M4 nades on with the flashes sent over. Mopoz caught dead to rights, just doubling up, 5-on-3.
Movistar Riders not even in a trading position. You've got Martinez aggressive up here towards ramp. He's got to make something happen. He's got to try and open up the bomb side.
Fight on. Jerks leaning forward with the M4, still unable to find anything.
Saw putting more pressure down just again with another pick in the round.
Doubling up. Quadra, in fact, for the ace. He closes it with an ace. There you go. Tech 9 tab, 16-12. That is Saw taking control of map 1 at last. Movistar Riders gave it good effort, but ultimately it's the pick of the Portuguese.
It wasn't the easiest affair at all. Yeah, I think we're still going to 3, but I don't count out the opportunity for a 2-0 from Saw. I think they'd even look at the end there of Ancient and say that probably wasn't good enough from us. Yes, we got the job done and we got it over the line, but it should have been a lot more convincing. So for that matter, I think they're going to come very well drilled and come through with a focus here on Overpass.
Small stall before we get started in the pistol round. As well, mic problem for Saw. Plenty of those over the course of our time together, Dwight. So,
understandable.
Can definitely sympathise with those problems at the moment. Get that fixed up. Seems like Jerks is back in the server, so not a massive issue, fortunately enough. Have a quick round restore to get the pistols back into position. The Julie's coming in for Just and Nutrus on this pistol setup. Utility on Mopoz and Davi G over for Movistar Riders.
One thing that I have to know is that the one Instapan that the side of Partisan have of where Sasol came from was Overpass. So we have no idea what to expect from Sasol because it's never been a map that he's played in his previous team.
All we can really do is pull from his previous performance and trying to look into what he did in the last map in this series and try to see whether he can continue on with that level of form. Fit in for the Movistar Riders side, bolster up this team and set themselves up for the map itself. Movistar into the defaults. 3 players centered around this monster entrance. Utility on Mopoz is there to receive alongside Davi. He's on his way in to set these smokes in.
And so it seems to be the monster pot, but they're just waiting out here to see if there's any counter-aggression. Is there any short water position being taken? Can they try and drive some aggressive fights to come outside of this T-spawn area? If so, that's a perfect opportunity to take an engagement and start blowing it right open towards that monster position. You've got a lot of players in con that could rotate quite quickly into short water and put pressure onto B.
I'm going to push on that pass and try to go back towards T-Con instead. Meanwhile, Alex is on his own little lurk out towards the bathrooms. You can see him here with the P250 trying to find any information on the CT side. It's aggressive on short, but passive out towards the A site in its entirety. The Julies have just start leaning forward and the backstab being centered in by Mutrist. Look at him. He's going to see the bomb soon. If he goes back towards Monster, which he does, this should be a kill. This should probably be the round, I think, gained by Saw with this casualty. See the engagement to the backside. He's actually leaking in for a little bit more. Martinez going to lead the charge just on the site defensive. Will start to lean out. The flashbangs come through and Mutrist will capitalize upon his backstab, draw first blood on Davi. Bomb drop, Jerks comes up with his kill to 5-on-3 for the CT side, trying to make it 2-1, and indeed they do.
It just shows you how vital information is in a game like Counter-Strike. We saw that for Muterus, it was a little bit slow to getting behind them because he doesn't want to make any noise. He doesn't want to drop down, so he's got to go all the way around the stairs, evade the railing the best that he can, get into the back, and that one kill of being able to drop that bomb, even before that, mate, like the idea that he's hearing the footsteps, he knows what's going on, there were rotates already. There was a complete stack towards that B side before that attempt even could come out of Monster.
The pistol round found by Saw. Start with Movistar now down to the Glocks. Not even a bomb plant gain thanks to that backstab. And the M4s come out in full force for them.
I think back to what we saw on the game against Sprout in that second round of main Swiss for Saw. 11 rounds on their CT base was what was gained. So we could expect a close to a competitive affair, close to double digits if they like.
Roman and Jerks mopping up 3 players total. USP pulled out against Davi. SMGs to try and take the mantle of the rest of the aggression. Try to get these picks in when money being gained by Jerks. In that case, 2k for him as well. 2-0 start for Saw.
Funny enough, actually, the 2 IGLs of Alex and Muterus played only once together in a DreamHack Valencia 2016 event with Kick. That was the only event that they played on HLTV, so you do have quite a lot riding on the line between the 2 IGLs. I would say for Movistar Riders, it's looking down onto someone like Alex to start the rebuilding phase, because even he's been a part of the Riders since the middle of 2018, which is past 4 years now.
You know, when you constantly swap players out and about, you look towards your stalwarts, your cornerstones, to be able to pick them back up and try and find the form that they need. In a leadership role, not like IGL role, that could still apply in this case, or any other case for that matter, but just as like a general figurehead of the squad. Like a social leader rather than a game leader. Movistar Riders towards him to see what he can do with the AK in his hands. 4 guns out for the T side here. Information is very hard to come by for Saw.
Yeah, even Mopoz has been a part of this squad for nearly 5.5 years now. So one thing that we do know is loyalty is being shown in the Iberian scene. You get a lot of players that stay with organizations for a very long time with many different iterations and many different lineups. Movistar Riders taking out the long contact out on the charge on the T side. Story, very passive, just jiggle peeking close towards the signpost.
Lean in, trying to spot for T-side players, but so far, so little is found. U-Jerks, SMG going for a risky play and doesn't quite work out for him, so Saul with the kill. Story passing utility back to Roman. They try and hold the defensive to the A site.
And knowing that Muterus is going back down towards B, shows that they want to split evenly. The Story might get a little bit more aggressive, try and make an info play towards Divider. 30 seconds on the clock, Movistar Riders are going to have to commit with this.
Story set in mid, Roman backing up. Nades on, Davy with the kill, so Saul turned away from Story, doesn't know where to look. And ultimately, the three-pronged attack there for Movistar Riders are going to overwhelm the Source side. Got to be a safe call for the last two players.
And that was an uncomfortable round. You lose the first pick early on, and then you find yourself in a position where you're trying to make an info play, you split the bomb sites evenly, you have your 1M4 get aggressive towards Divider and just get caught on a timing. Roman gets overwhelmed, Story does the same. And Just and Muterus have to hold on to the weapons that they have. I guess Just will be able to drop an M4. Muterus, I mean, Story could buy himself and Jerks can buy himself, so they'll still be able to give themselves a decent round.
A little something. Definitely better than having the harsher Rico that they would have had they lost these two weapons. Movistar Riders will get their start early in this matchup. Not quite the pistol conversion when it comes to those gun rounds. It's positive entities, despite the SMG still being in play. More of a bonus played out there by Source. So guns will be in. They'll have the full 4 M4s. Just could upgrade to an extra rifle, but he's going to opt to stick with just the 2400 in his bank.
There's no point at all. You want to try and stabilize, and you probably even want an MP9 in this sort of round. Have it a little bit more on the aggressive approach, trying to search for some information, get an early duel, get yourself back with an upgraded AK. Saw having a single spotter from Story out towards T-Con. That flash is excellent towards him.
The Saul taking the damage early, however. I think it was an underpass challenge in from the connector position. A spam through from Muterus, perhaps. Either way, 7 HP for him. Not ideal for Movistar start, but he thought they were going to get away with the HP advantage above Story.
You've got Martinez close towards the left-hand side of Divider. Davy G behind him. Roman is just waiting for the cross. A slight shadow advantage to be given up towards the bathrooms. Just now receiving some spam. Back and forth outside of the monster position.
70 HP here for Just. M4 Mopon will be watching out from the short pipe. Molotov sent towards the B site. Flash is going over as the CTs try walk forward. 60 seconds remaining.
Now, this is always a good position for the MP9 to be up against. Anytime you're playing against a monster pop, monster wall, out there to the surf side, you're going to do some serious damage. Movistar Riders still haven't seen anything. Martinez hasn't caught anyone aggressive. Davy G peeks into the contact. Roman will drop him.
Can't drop Martinez, though. Advantage regained back to a 4-on-4. On that M4 Story on the backside, gonna wait for Muterus to get back to position as well. Just meanwhile creeping around the short position. So Saul has no HP, dead to rights, instant burst through. Could get backstabbed in by Alex. He didn't see him, so he gets caught back in the monster pipe. 3-on-3 now as they press towards the B site, and the CTs are rotating very heavily for it. Jerk's caught off with the flashbangs, hearing footsteps, sees one engagement. Is Muterus dropping that bomb carrier. Alex with a responsive 10 seconds though. Time is up for Movistar Riders, and Martinez will go down. Story finds the kill on Alex in the backside at the same time, and it's 3 for Saw.
I just love the time stalling that Saw bring there. So you have Just in a bit of an awkward position. He's got aggressive towards Monster. He gets into short pipe. The bomb gets dropped. He obviously doesn't realize he's being wrapped from behind. But then look at what the Barrels player is able to do. You could just see, get your head ducked down, wait for Muterus to come onto the backstab, wait for Roman to come up from heaven. And it just shows the discipline that Saw have there in the late round of not over-peaking. Don't give easy advantages forward to Movistar.
Guess they can buy back into these gun rounds here for the Movistar side, so they can try and return fire, return the favor. The nades, however, doing the damage, and they don't get any damage to return themselves. So Saw's at least not spammed up this time, hugging the wall on his way into connector. And in general, outside of that one good round for Saw, they haven't had a whole lot of connector presence here.
No, we've seen the Movistar Riders have only just dipped outside of the top 20 on HLTV, being up there from the end of March this year, 7 months. Always being in that top 20 position. Now they're currently sitting at 23rd. They would like to get themselves back up there, back into the conversation of a high-end Tier 2 team that can dangle and work with a Tier 1 atmosphere. They've got to claw their way back in the series on their map pick. Down 1 and 3. Martinez with a lurk smoke out towards the end of long. Not a lot of A presence has been shown aggressively.
Have to put in the hard yards if they want a chance to crack back into the top 20 with the way that the results have been so far. We had Saw as favourites for a good reason, and Story's going to show that reason off right there. Martinez picked up as the opening frag of round 5.
And knowing that now the offensive started to move further forward out today, look at what Saw's been able to bring. A triple rotation up to A, and both Jerks and Just aggressing forward towards short pipe. They've got a lot of information on this round.
And for the corner, Molotov sent in, flashes over, Roman going to wait. So Saw walks right past him, easy pickings, not quite the double up. Held a bit longer, and maybe the trigger discipline could have worked out for that CT. 16 seconds, and Movistar Riders are on the site. The bomb will go down. Davi's low HP. No HEs to post up until the SMG just comes into the back lines, doubles up for his own right. Plenty of money gained by Jerks. And Mopos in a 1-on-4 should not last much longer.
Players around everywhere. Muterus has got to know that he's got to be close towards Bank. Got him with the spam a little bit earlier on. The jiggle and the wide swing comes through. Mopos does find the first. He's actually doing pretty well to isolate those individuals, but not to be. My big question is, how has Jerks got 2 kills with the MP9 coming out of top con towards the A side? I mean, that's super long range. That's always very tough to be able to win out with an MP9.
Well, it helps that Davi was like 30 HP in that particular exchange. The first kill, I think, is the one that shocks me the most personally. Fantastic stuff overall from Soul. Was a little bit dicey at times, but they kept the man advantage. The trade game was fantastic. It all just came together with that final pick on the site defensive. 4-1. Saw holding 2 AKs for free. The Tech 9's coming through for Movistar Riders. The money has run out on the T side.
And we saw Overpass being picked in both the Spanish League games that we've seen recently from the Riders. Against Velux, they managed 9 rounds on the T side, and against For the Win, they managed 12 rounds on the T side of Overpass. We are not seeing that today.
Very different caliber of team, though. Saw been doing work in that league as well. Passive control, the walks forward from Movistar being very careful about this. Making their ways into the mid position, so slow walk to the XE.
Overpass is very tough on eco rounds to get a lot of success forward. Roman does pick up dry towards the top of connector, even without a flashbang that could have been there from Jerks. Pays for it.
Decent frag found. M4 now gained versus Saul. Going to get boosted up to potentially look over the divider position or run boosted in. I don't know if they looked like they were going to set something up there. I don't think they are going to do so, though. Molotov sent in. AWP, the story looking up for the shot to connect towards Alex, looking back towards long just in case. He's going to get over one with a numbers game. Muterus, similar story, continues to spray until he runs out of ammo, but Jerks again with a backstab in from connector, holds the line, and Muterus with the USP shot keeps it together. Damage done towards Saw, though. Movistar Riders can be relatively happy with what they gained out of that round.
Now we know that Muterus and Roman are the 2 hard hitters when it comes to this map of Overpass, the 2 key elements we normally look at some of those defensive holds. And you can just see it there from Muterus. Yes, it's a little bit uneasy, but he holds his life. It allows Just to peek up from the top of connector to be able to run that distraction. And while the rounds are expensive, while they're close, we can keep going off into that conversation. It's still 5-1. It's still a very early lead for Saw.
See what that leads to here. Guns back in from Movistar. Saw with their rifles as standard, the M4s, the AK of Just. They're rocking a little bit more firepower, of course, Movistar. So their default's a bit more aggressive, but trying to find that opening frag.
Hearing some of those footsteps from Muterus, starting to move around. But that incendiary out towards a boost position, knows he has to reposition, has to force Mopos out in the open. Flash in to allow Ujox to peek. Look out towards Monster, which has already put these smokes down. AVG will lean forward as the forward contact man amid. We might need to see some more variation of pace. It's been very slow, very silent across this first half from them. Even Story with a returning flash, just jump spawning up from APC, trying to catch info. Might have just seen the AWPer, actually. Incendiary sent. Martinez's AWP. Look for the dice position. Smoke sent towards the back site. Damage done to Davi with a HE. And
They come in towards the execution. M4 looks for Davi, looking the wrong way. That Story with the kill. Alex will drop towards Roman. 5 on 3, 20 seconds. The time been run so low so many times, and they'll pay the price for it. It's a Saul falling. That's round done.
Just great crossfires being set out there towards the A site. Story with the first contact, then Roman to adjust out towards long, then Muterus to do the same. This is tough. This is a brutal start to map number 2 here for Movistar.
Counter-terrorists win.
Not very much else you can put it. Rather contrasting to where they were standing at the opening map of Ancient. They had a 5-4 lead at one point. No chance they're getting that at this stage. 6-1 just looks utterly dominant tactical taken by Movistar because they are running out of really any strategies to work here. They've been effectively picked apart in a lot of these rounds.
Have a chat with Blade to get some assistance. Funny enough, actually, him, Muterus, and Roman all played together on Overgaming and Kick during 2015 and 2016. So that just shares the conversation that Blade used to be an ex-pro, used to play in some of the high levels, the high-tier teams in the Iberian scene, try and use some of that experience to pass down. Because for Movistar Riders, it just feels very flat on this T side. Not a lot of openings. Opening man advantages aren't really being gained. And Saw are just beasting them with informations and crossfires. That's where it's been locked.
Movistar Riders are going to find a way to break them here. Set piece execution perhaps in towards the B site if possible. They've got the incendiaries out towards short pipe. Mopos will try to make his way in, and the spam through the wall bang comes in effective. Muterus getting Mopos, kicking things off.
And now it's just got to feel like everything's just not going your way. You're just being straight spammed in towards a short pipe on a buy round. Jerks is aggressive out towards the sandbags. Probably needs a flash if he wants to go any deeper.
That's the shot on dry face. Not quite catching the swords, thinking about swinging out for it. In the end, gets Davi G instead, makes it a triple. Decimation on the short aggression. Didn't even need any flash support at all. No utility required for the kills on Jerks. 1 on 5 for Martinez, and it's another great round for Saw. Jeez, that was overwhelming.
Yeah, this has been a pumper, and I guess it goes back to the conversation. Yes, Movistar Riders locally have had a lot of success on Overpass on the T side. Last 3 months, they have a round win percentage of 26, which is incredibly low. And yes, there are playing some tier 1 caliber squads in the action there, but we have seen struggles on T side of Overpass for Movistar, and we're getting a perfect image of it right now.
Tech 9's Deagles brought out of the half by Movistar Riders, getting no bomb plants here. Fast players in from those pistols, trying to catch players off guard. Story does see the shoulder bait off. The adjustment's perfect. Bomb carrier now be isolated by the backstab coming in towards this long position rather from Roman. Getting Alex. Davi G will at least get some assistance from Saul, getting Story back. Just responds to Mopos. Saul's AWP trying his best to frag back in any capacity he can. Open up the mid control and potentially get a bomb plant towards the A site.
And that's likely, but the likelihood of winning the round and turning it into a steal is going to be unlikely. Saul hoping for an over-rotation. Instead, it's going to be probably on the backstab approach, more so towards Connector and T-Con. There's a lot of respect being given up to them to take this A-bite.
Right, grab that bomb, commit it to the A play. And there's no responsive from Roman, and the rotation's not coming from Saw. That backstab for Just could have been fantastic had they had waited around him for a little bit longer, but the reality is now he's going to get the information. Smoke will come down from Saul to buy a bit of extra cover, and that will just force the rotations back from Jerks. Roman to make his way in towards long. Not quite wary of him still being up there, though.
This is a good position for Saw to be in. They've got some util, they've got kits, they can slow it right down. Even Davi G's been seen.
Caught information back for the T side, though. Nades sent into bank. Follow-up smokes coming in towards the dumpster position. We'll try to block off that entryway. The AWP funneled in. Davi making his move around the corner, trying to spot for him. Saul gets his pick. AK leaning forward onto the defuse he needs to get here. Engagement for Davi. Holds the line, gets the advantage back. And now Jerks is out of time here. Saul's AWP tapping forward. Spray through. No time left for Jerks. He's going to escape, or try to at least. Davi might get caught in the bomb blast. So it will be expensive for Movistar, but it is their second round.
And that's a very impressive round coming through from Saul. And I don't know how you look at this, Jay, but I look at this as being a negative that your player on debut has pretty much top fragged in map 1 and map 2. Like, it's great for him. Don't get me wrong. It's nice to see that you brought a player forward and he's done well, but knowing that he doesn't even play Overpass in the last 3 months, that this is his first game with the team, you don't expect him to be top fragging.
I guess it depends on context, really. If he was top fragging and Movistar were winning, then sure, it would be a pretty positive thing. But
Yeah,
you have
true.
got a good point about that. They aren't winning. They're down by 5 rounds, even with that 1-round steal. Fast execution inbound from Mopos, getting just to return the firepower and continue it on for the T-side line. Story trades back on Mopos. You've also got Sasol getting tagged to 19 HP in that connector presence. Back up towards the short position, and Story's watching for him.
Yeah, even Muterus is going to get aggressive towards connector. Peek out to the right-hand side. The AWP was looking to the left.
Didn't even hear the footstep. I genuinely thought he did. Sasol now known, but taken back by Jerks with his peek forward. 3-on-3. Muterus back is turned towards T-Con. Underpass control. Be held by the man. Davi extends very far deep into the A site. It's another open bomb plant.
And this looks to be enough done, actually, for Movistar Riders. The only way that this gets out of order is that Muterus finds success out here towards the top of connector. But Alex is so deep into party. This is a great angle to hold.
$40 seconds. Plant will be secured. M4 rotating up to position for Roman. Wait for his teammates to get back here. There's a lurk-in from Alex still, finding Muterus back over towards Birthday Party. Going to stall against Jerks as well. Roman needs to win this fight. He doesn't do so. Movistar Riders have found the formula at last.
Now, Jerks' best bet is to put pressure onto Alex and hold on to the AK. That lurk attempt up there towards the top of party found a lot. And it just felt like there was a slight variation with pace. It was a little bit quicker to get out of that monster control. It caught a couple of players off guard. Story thinks, okay, I'm going to hold aggressively. Quite an overexposed angle when you don't have the info to the right-hand side, and just gets caught because of it.
4 rounds to the good still for Saw, but that's going to start to be a gap that closes. Deagle's in, pistols brought out for what is essentially a deco round. For a fast play in from Movistar Riders to catch them off guard. They do stall ahead of the monster position. That's a smart call because Saw have stacked B.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Starts moving away. Just when I was going to make the point of how many steal rounds we've seen in from the Saw side, they start moving away. So the gamble doesn't pay off at all.
About to realise how close they got to holding onto a defensive line. Movistar Riders continue the execution. And Saw, well, unfortunate in this case.
They might as well look for exit to try and throw themselves at it just to see if they can recover an extra weapon. Maybe Just and Story are going to hold back with the armor possession. The 4th round being gained by the Riders.
He was in play to try and look for exit frags if at best possible. Unlikely anything really happens here for the Saw side. It should be 4 for Movistar Riders. Rotations out to the back site and back lines. It's got Jerks leaning forward for the contact position, just going to keep his eyes back towards Rave. Try and hunt around the corner for Mopos, just try and do some damage, take these rifles out of the hands of the T side. Expense will be spared because they don't have a lot of cash in reserve. Jerks round the corner. Mopos indeed does get caught off. 1 AK save. Second man, Davi G, not going down.
And that's exactly what they wanted, though. Look for exit kills, try and recover a weapon. That's what they've achieved. They need to answer back with a rifle round, though. I still think it's quite a good position for Saw to get double digits in the first half. I think it's a position that's very doable. It's just whether they can answer back quickly. I think we've seen Jerks find up a lot of assistance down there towards the B side. Story with that AWP too, but just trying to mesh it together on another rifle.
Here come those rifles. Saw AWP on Story, AK save for Jerks. You've got Mopos very quickly swinging in towards the short control, looking towards the site and out of the back site as well, but the AWP is so ready for it. Not going to be allowed to peek in dry. Nade sent perfectly for Just. That's a lot of damage and a lot of potential with the AK swing from Jerks, grabbing 2 kills, well, technically 2. TK is in from Sasol, taking Alex down. Just to fall back to the AWP potential. The 3-on-2 for Saw have been gained.
Fantastic setup there from Saw. You had the AWP just reading the walk forward. You've got 4 on B, you've got Roman as a spotter down there into the bathrooms, and then as soon as that first pick comes through, you just unleash the nades. The HE goes in towards Monster, the flash goes around it, and for Movistar Riders, you're just so blinded. You can't do anything there.
Martinez try his hand at wrapping around the corner, try push forward, Roman, M4. Great kill, found for Martinez to a 2-on-2, and Muteris, the known entity towards the close position. Stories Orp now peeking forward out towards Toxic, will be the next forward contact individual. That bomb outside of Monster needs to get recovered. So Saw evades the kill shot. Re-peeking from Story, can't grab it. Muteris is dropped, and now it's a 1-on-2 for the AWP. Known, only so far he can go, and Sassoul's Orb lands the no-scope up close and personal. Straight to the head. Movistar Riders 5-5.
I'm not sure how that happens. Just when you give so much praise to Saw, you even look at that first contact, it's a 5v2. I don't think the overextension from here, that one shot in the 4v2 advantage that the AWP got back from Martinez, it just didn't need to happen. And for Saw, just looking for too many fights there. That's an unbelievable recovery from the Spaniards. They should have had no chance winning that round.
Feels like we talked a lot about over-aggression over the course of the day. I'm kind of surprised that it's a mistake that keeps getting repeated here. Saw down to pistols as a result. This was a ridiculous lead, a 7-1 at one point. Then it get back to Movistar starting to take things back on the T-side half.
And Movistar will be very happy with cinching that round, because that's given them a little bit more of a safety net. It's given them opportunity to start grinding even further, continue the round streak. Saw are going to start making an info play again over towards this monster area in T-spawn, but this is twice now that the gamble stacks and pistols have just been on the complete other side of the map.
Minute to play with here. Davi saying an utility to get into the site. Smoke sent down towards this the position. Muteris taking his position up here behind the truck. 3 more players also finding their post-plant angles. Jerks, meanwhile, in at T-Con, engaging Sassoul, going to try and force them forward. Meanwhile, the AWP of Martinez gets Roman. Smokes ahead of the Molotovs put up there by the T-side line. Jerks is still fighting back in mid here. The side 7 of Muteris, however, could be the winning element. Alex going to swing out. Molotov sent. Engagement found. Story also caught. Sassoul found. Jerks just got only 1 frag. And that is Riders with their 6th 1 to the evens.
And the more competitive this gets in the first half, the less of a chance Saw have over 2-0. So the way that Riders are composing themselves right now is giving me a pretty good indication that we are going to go to a 3rd map of Nuke. Saw have had it tough in the last couple of rounds, but they can only blame themselves in a couple of them. And knowing that they threw them away, had advantages, but just didn't claim it. Movistar Riders have had to work incredibly hard with these last couple just to be able to come close to tying up the scoreline.
I mean, it's pretty poor for a 70% win rate on CT side.
Yeah, I would, yeah. It is only 3 maps, though, to be fair.
Either way, Saw they Movistar get away with murder on their 26% T side. Just down and out to Mopod's position. Advantage gains. Swing forward to the M4 of Jerks. Can't quite get the kill. Mopos is at least down at 10 HP. Swing on the AWP. Martinez misses the shot. It's back to evens.
Now, him and Muteris might actually continue to press. Assault on the other side just gets caught off guard. That actually looked really deadly for Movistar Riders. You had an opening pick onto Just. You had the AWP looking towards the short sandbags. In most cases, you've got a 5-on-3 there, and that's the round secured. Instead, one mistake of the AWP not connecting has actually come back to bite them.
Stories AWP now playing anchor on the site. Looking around towards the mid-control on the left-hand side especially. Eyes front, falling back 40 seconds to the clock. Movistar Riders are leaning into the A play.
And just knowing that Jerks has got so aggressive into Monster, you can float Muteris as a quick rotate up to A. And Story's now caught vision. They're going to keep through on A for sure.
Patience to back him up. Molotov's in. Smokes down, AWP flashed off, still connects Davi as he starts to fade. Repeat towards long, land the leg on Alex. Now he's low, as is Mopos. It's a bit more like it for Saw as Mopos will drop to the AWP in the back lines. And the AK just going in for the save. Lost the bomb and lost the round.
What a sound sequence that was from the AWP. Jerks is going to position himself out to long just to try and hunt down this last individual. They might actually catch Alex after time. It's not going to make a huge difference to the economy game at all because they were still going to be able to buy everyone next round anyway.
Yeah, drop weapons and all could be afforded by Movistar. It was only really Alex that had economical problems, and even that had $1,600, so... Kevlar helmet, plus the utility, dropped AK for Davy G's part. Martinez can afford the AWP. And we have ourselves a 15th gun round. 8-6, Saw have the half most definitely. Movistar Riders could still make it a single round difference going into their CT side. As you mentioned, Blake, the ground that the Spaniards have made up is going to make it more difficult for Sword to try and get this 2-0 on the board here. Orb in of Story, very aggressive in a short control. Warp of the T side might challenge him directly.
Open the door, so it's going to have to be opened manually. Doesn't see anything deep, but what the lack of information is over to the right-hand side.
Meanwhile, spot from that M4 of Jerk, spotting the players up top con. The information that mid has been compromised. There's no one from Sword to actually take a look inside of it directly. Story does win that fight in the Orb v Orb battle, so that's an advantage for Saw again.
Even Mopoz looking to try and take back some of this map control that's been achieved out towards short pipe. Clear out as much of it as possible. Even Muterus is looking towards the long bathrooms.
For engagement, doesn't get any damage. Alex brings it into a 4-on-4. Unaware of the second player that's up towards top long. Roman tucked away behind the rock. He's been detected and Alex gets that headshot the same. Advantage for Movistar just brings it back to a 3-on-3 and Davy G leads the charge into a passive A defense.
That's a strong read coming through from Alex, realizing why is Muteris there unless there's a crossfire. Focus that attention back over towards a rock angle. And now Davy G has to focus up on entering towards the side.
Molly's ahead, back behind the truck position. He's going to give away the info that he has up there on that truck itself. Jerks peeking in the boost, doing damage, not getting kills. He's going to get forced back by that player. Bomb plant should be secured at the front side of the truck. Now Jerks and lead the charge in for Just. Story up behind him. Alex caught off. 3-on-2. Davy G in the back corner, covered off by that smoke, and Jerk still reads it. Headshot perfect. Saul sticking on the truck from the word go. Going to stick to it to his demise. Just will get the kill in, and it will be a 9-6 half to close the CT side for Saul.
And they'll be happy with what they've achieved there, but I think it's very similar to the conversation of Ancient that it could have been better. It could have been more when you look at it. I look at that second half as Ancient as a prime example and think to myself, well, they probably could have closed it down a little bit easier, didn't have to focus a lot onto the stills. And now in this first half, I was pretty adamant that we were going to get double digits in from Sword, but still 9-6. I mean, they've given themselves leverage to work with come the second half now.
It's 3 rounds to the good, but Movistar Riders, it could have been far worse for them. They deserve some praise too. Looking so dire from the eye test and how that 7-1 scoreline was even brought about for Saw. Unbelievably confident on the CT side. Now to go towards the T half and try replicate here. Movistar Riders, pistol basis sees the diffusion utility in from Mopoz and Co. Story and Roman, and Muterus for that matter, have the utility basis set up outside a monster here in the default.
It seems like it's going to be a late round. Nothing too pressy on the back of this. Try and get the nose flash in.
Smokes down initially to heaven. Mopoz seen. Counter flash in from the CT side evaded. Headshots for Jerks. Game of the first man. Up close and past on the center of the site. That's Saul. Back to a 4-on-4. Making it 4-on-3 as Just goes dropping. Muterus responds. Goosh down on Davy to 1 point of health, but Alex has headshots too. Davy falls. Martinez back in the action, and Roman stands alone to fall to the AWPer of the CT side. That's a pistol from Movistar Riders.
That's an all-important pistol. Now, you could just see there for Sword, they want to go for the B-pop out from Monster. And the issue with doing that on a pistol, if you're running into the stack, is it's going to be tough to break that setup apart. You had a 1 on A spotter with 4 on B. And while Jerks is able to get an immediate entry just from the monster wall position, it gets a little uneasy. The trades aren't successful. And then Roman gets stuck into a 1vx. Has to be forced down onto a light eco into round 17. Movistar Riders coming close to tying up the scoreline.
Very little money available for Source by P250s. Glocks in. No Kevlar, no util. Should be no chance for Saw in this one. Looking to build into the rifle round in round 18. How much money they've saved here.
Yeah, Alex is putting on quite a good show individually. We know that him and the coach of the Saw side actually played with each other for 4 years, which is kind of crazy to think that he's also in a coaching role. Trying to put some of those like old teammates back to bed and allow themselves to crack on here on Overpass.
Burst through, just going down. Alex with 2 more. Muteris dead to rights. Alex with a quadra. Movistar Riders doing well to try and keep pace with Saw. Still down by 1. But the guns are on. The rifle round brought in by the T side.
We saw quite a lot of 2-0s in from Sword towards the tail end of this event. I think to the 3rd round of Swiss, when they took on Ecstatic, they got a 2-0 there. They then took on Eklot in the 4th round, getting a 2-0 to get themselves into the playoffs. And then, of course, 2-0ing Endpoint. So this is 3 best-of-3s back-to-back in the Invitational that have all been 2-0s to the Portuguese.
Will they add 1 more to the tally? That's the question at this moment in time. Looking like they might have just done there in the early part of this game, but it's more questionable now that we're at 9-8. AK's in, Nays down on just, damage up to 69 points of HP. Nice. Fall away from that short position, try to get back into Monster and evade the ire of Sasol.
And we've seen some pretty good T-sides across the day, actually, for the majority of squads. Might be something that leans on here towards the Saw side. Counter utility down towards a boost position to get a boost up to look over. See nothing towards short.
Realize that there might be a heavy monster press, or there might be more presence towards A than they might have thought. Very passive position to help with the 2 defenders. Jump face, still not seeing anything in that mid control. They've got a slight gap to play with. And now they see what's really going on. Alex doing damage to Jerks. Nades on, landing right at the feet of Muteris. Roman caught a lot of that as well. Martinez responds. Blind spray doing damage, but a double up for the M4 with Moppa support the FAMAS. Bombs drop. Story forced to trade and needs to commit as well. Has got that bomb, and backup is backed up towards mid control. Counter rotation though. B could still be opened up.
He just wanted to get back to safety, wait to just to peek on the contact of him. Now there's a smoke over to that right-hand side. There's a lot of respect being given right now. So there's a very good chance that Sori just gets the bomb down and plays out the post plan in the 2v3.
20 seconds, he's on default. Front side of Dice, hunting around for Mopos. Want to get a man advantage before they have to go into the post plant, but they don't quite find it. Just will extend quite forward. Sees the Soul's nade and gets caught by the SMG instead. Had a backup player as well there in that dumpster angle. And now Story with it all to do. That aggression probably a bit too far forward. Mopos spots him. Davy gets caught. That's 1 pick. Second player back at dumpster. Oh, they line up for him! And Story gets the wall bang as well!
Mate, what? No! How's that happened? I can't believe it! Oh, that's got to be clutch of the day. That has to be the lineup for the stray bullet catches him. I'd be fuming if I was Movistar Riders and lost that round. Just when he's trying to retreat, just when he's trying to get back to long. That is unreasonable.
That's disastrous what that is for Movistar. Worst positioning possible. The HP advantage working well for the AK. And they are now in the half. 10-8 up. Tech pause. We've got that mic bug again. We'll need a round restore as well. Movistar Riders. Oh, they're going to be so miffed at that. So unbelievably so, because not only is it a round lost, look at the economy game. They're going to be limited even if they force to buy.
There probably shouldn't be a buy here. It's not ideal. And I look at that round, and everything was shaped up so nicely. You had Martinez. He was playing to the back of Dice. You know, he wastes a lot of time. He puts a HE placement that does a chunk of damage. And then even Mopos on that rotate up towards the dumpster angle. It just has a perfect flash. Gets them right in there. They can peek on the contact. Looks as if they've done enough on the crossfire. And then just Story coming out of nowhere with a huge clutch.
Broken investments from both sides. There will be a buy from Movistar. They will commit to the guns here. 3 M4s, which actually beats the 2 AKs on Saw with the Galil. 2 MAC-10s and a SMG also from Movistar Riders side. The FAMAS in for Davi. 2 rounds to make up for Movistar. Saw on the swing. This could be a massive round for the T side.
And Movistar realized, let's buy it down. Yes, it's not going to be the best rifle round for us, but let's try and force that double eco. Let's put as much pressure down onto Saw as possible. And they've got a boost up for Martinez and connected to look out towards a short pipe, and they've naded open the Condor.
And he sent Molotovs down as well, dismantling that boost up. to get kinetic control rather than to gain a short position. Both players are backed up and being very noisy about this as well. So these two players in Muteris and Just, they'll know that, or Muteris and Nuke rather, they'll be able to take that full control and start pressing towards mid from connector.
Story and Roman have been hanging around T-Con. They've seen nothing towards long. So that gives a very good tell that no one's going to be out there to party. There's not going to be an aggressive crossfire. There might be someone in the bathrooms or out to Divider, but that should be it.
Backing away with the Mac 10. Jerks. Trying to lean alongside Muteris. Boost up potential.
Nade stack.
Yeah. Sent towards backside, catching nothing in at the toxic barrels. Mopoz engages Muteris. Muteris wins that fight anyway. 2 more players in at Monster. Flashes against him. Davy trying to hold. So Sword tag to 1 HP. Davy holds on to 2. Not quite 3. Jerks is low, but he's alive. Only for so long.
Oh, Martin is swinging wide. Story needs to try and get here for a fight. Muteris out in the open, and now it's down to Story to clutch again.
Tell me a story of a man that got 2 1vx's. AK in. Backed up towards that short control. Is he going to reposition here?
Just hold it. There's no kit, and there's a lucky util. It's all about time stalling. It's all about driving the fight. They've got to try and get them to tap the bomb.
M4 leaning up, doesn't see him. Footsteps heard. Martinez. Sight held. M4 going to check it. He's been seen. Sprayed through, runs out of ammo. Another lineup, but not another 2K. Not another clutch this time. And Alex should have enough time for the defuse itself. 9 to the Movistar board. But bomb plant bonus for Saw. Economy's not quite there. Do they force it here, Blake?
I think they do, because it's a very similar pattern to Movistar Riders where you can force the reset to your opposition. I think you just go back and forth with the buys because you want to hard reset one another. And for Story, you got all the casualties. Only 1 player stayed alive in a bomb plant. I think you buy it up here completely.
Tactical taken by Sword to discuss that prospect. Their first one called in this map. Discussions, decisions. They will go for it. AKs and Galils are coming out. They are going to force the issue down here, Dwayne, just as you asked them to, as you think is the right call to make. Even then, the gun buy back for the CT forces is just getting worse and worse as these rounds roll on. They've got no loss bonus in the tank. Again, Saw are on for the reset. So much so they're calling a second tactical timeout in a row.
I don't mind this at all. Speak to Arky, try and see what they want to try and achieve here. I think they know in that last round that the B pop was slightly more difficult and found themselves not on the right side of the trades. I mean, Muteris did well out to short, but it was that player towards the monster angle, up close and personal behind the util that made it so uncomfortable. Even with a man advantage, they couldn't get it done. They isolated individual picks out there to Graffiti. Jerks probably be on an AK as well, just down to a dig. Movistar Riders and Saw, they both know that this is a swing round. And for the Riders' point of view, knowing that you're on City side, you're going to get reset harder if you lose this round.
Jerks brings forward that AK to lack the utility count. 21 kills for him, top fragger of the board for the Saw side. Smokes in to extinguish the flames. M4 finds Roman, but doesn't find the frag. 26 HP, he stands alive.
You got Mopoz quite aggressive out to Rock too, so shows as if Movistar Riders want to have a little bit more intent on an early fight, some early damage. They realized that they tagged up Roman quite low. In the end, it's going to be a back off from Mopoz and Alex. Even Martinez is thinking about rotating back down to the B side.
Jerks holds the AK, leaning up into the mid position. Muteris right behind him as well. Minute and 10. Smoke sent off. Alex jump facing. Knife out, sees one, falls back.
And this should be the commit. Saw just have to work off the dry contact. Alex has to fall back, try and set up the crossfire with his long teammate.
An engagement will also send them full frontal. He gets the kill against the bomb carrier. Backup also in from long. Mopoz holds his nerve and just punishes him for it. 4 on 3 for Saw.
They've got to go for this. There's no way they can save because they'll be on double eco. They have to go.
Or they could just take those guns into the next round and call it in from here. A 4 on 3 post plant. I respect the decision from Movistar Riders. I don't think I agree with you fully there, Dwag. Double Eco, force up, get those extra guns in for the next round, and try work off the back of a steal.
Now, Alex just swinging wide from that bank control, gets the bomb down, and for Mopos, you can see what he's trying to do there. He's trying to have the trigger discipline, but he actually baits his teammate. I think Alex gets that kill towards bank. If Mopos is able to strike before that man goes into the bank control, you get a 5-on-3. He's waited way too long there. Alex has fell, and then Mopos just doesn't get anything, does he? Just wish the spray completely. Had to take your opportunity, had to take your moment there on the first player.
Tactical timeout called in by Movistar here, their second one of the game. Two to the good on Saw. And a moment to think, a moment to discuss again, not only the buy potential, but also the strategy approaching this force invest. It has to be a force invest. As you mentioned, double eco for guys like Alex. Mopo's only get $220. Utility investor for Davy G, so he's going deep into this one. The Eagles brought out. How do they manage this?
Well, it's got to be aggressive. I think anytime you're in a round like this, take map control. I'd actually like to see an aggressive fountain setup. Put pressure down onto T-Con.
And the past two players will go. Martinez holding connector itself. Stack up for the other players on that B side, potentially extending out towards short. Jerks in the connector itself. Want to talk about the positions. Damage will be done to the wall bangs. Nothing major though.
Davy G has to try and relay this over now. Because it is such a heavy gamble stack over to B, knowing that you've now heard info out to connector, Alex can think about a slight rotation back up to the A side. You've got Martinez jump spotting out to Dice just to try and catch what's going on. The slower this round goes, though, for Saw, the better it is, because you drive more util. You get the CTs to second-guess themselves.
Marcin. Tucked away. Spray. Can't get the kill. Jerks responds 4-on-4.
Even to Saul. Needs to try and back up his teammate. Mopos needs help, and he needs it now.
Another wave position. Saul smokes in and try and block off vision. SMG, only automatic standing. Mopos' Deagle can do well at Mopos. And Martinez fall in trade with Story finishing off to Saul. It's a Deagle versus 3 for Alex. They're all low HP. So grabbing this SMG is not a terrible idea. He can't get the kill found. Deagle standing ready to wait. Spray through, catches him in the cubby corner. And that is it for Movistar Riders and their force bite. It's a harsh eco now.
And this is where we tempt the what if, right? That 3v4 where you go for the save. Was there more of a chance of winning that round in comparison to saving, force buying, and going into the next? Because I look at that one and I think the chance was wasted on that retake. You're going to force buy anyway, so you might as well throw what you've got at it and then double eco yourself in the next round. You've given yourself 2 chances rather than just 1.
The Eagles set in for Mopos being the only weapon of note here for Movistar for now. Oh, spam through the taps, Davy. Tank of 17 already. Not the start that Movistar wanted, but not like it was going to be much better in the first place.
And just knowing even the head-to-head, Saw have not won a best-of-3 against Movistar Riders since last year. It's been quite a while since it's come through. And to do it in a 2-0, to get yourself in the semi.
Just falling away. AK involved. The taps against Mopos. Will try to drive himself back, grab that bomb, commit towards the mid control.
Saw reading this well. Even for Movistar Riders, I mean, even if they gamble stack correctly, are we even tempting fate that this could be a steal? Because there's only a Deagle. It's not as if there's much of an upgrade.
Utility sent. USP's in. The taps on the headshots, not going to be allowed. Jerks gets the opening kill of the round. Martinez not going to last long in pizza corner. And what do you do from here from Movistar? You might as well send yourself at it and try to get something. You're not losing anything in this round, but the firepower differential means that there's virtually no chance that this retake happening. Alex falling, Mopos and Davy try to find anything that they can.
Davy does get away with one. The problem here is you're just not going to get that AK. Yes, you got the kill, but it's so advanced up into the site, it's just never going to happen.
Unless the bomb blast blows it over to the B site or something and someone catches it. Actually, they've vacated the site pretty early, so it is going to get recovered here by Mopoz, so you will grab that rifle. Yeah. Sticking around in the corner of Dumpster, 66 HP. He's not going to be okay. I was thinking about the damage to compound there. He doesn't even escape with it into the next round, so his best bet's to run back towards that B site. Ultimately losing 13-9. Movistar might have had a fantastic start in this half, a fantastic closer to the last half, but Sora starting to pull ahead again. 4 rounds in the lead, 3 more to go to the 2-0 win.
And Sasor's been very quiet in the second half. I think back to the first of Overpass, where he was maintaining the lead. He was doing very well on Ancient. We look back at the young man on debut to step up again when you're in trouble at 9-13 down.
So strong. Overwhelming him, shutting him down, already doing the damage into that monster position. Blind behind the smoke for both sides. The flashes in will not attempt face on the Source side. It's just stalling tactics to keep Movistar Riders at bay.
And knowing that the info play out towards Fountain could be successful in the later portion of the round. Opening pick from Roman, though. Not even a trade.
No chance for a trade. It was too far extended forward from Alex ahead of those stairs in mid-control. You had Martinez's orb that was ready for a face-out from the birthday party or long positions, but no chance to respond back. He's on the A site directly itself, even rotating to the B play. Jerks waiting for someone to make their way down the connector. Focused firmly on the B here for Saw.
Yeah, this is a proper gamble stack now. You got Mopoz as the lone player towards A and connector. Everybody else is over towards the monster wall, and it seems to be a pretty good read, actually.
40 seconds. Utility thrown, Jerks. Gorman is fighting against Mopoz. Oh, looks away at the wrong moment. 4 on 4. And now these players of the T side set to go in and face the triangle of death, the crossfire with the AWP and Martinez locking onto Muterus. Man advantage, Story jumps around the corner. Davy deals in with Sasor's assistance. That bomb has been dropped, just as fallen. It looks like Movi are going to hold on to this position. Roman seen, dealt with the same. 10 to the board of the Movistar Riders.
I can't be too critical in that round. That's a full-on gamble stack. And anytime you're running into a gamble stack, it's tough to be critical on the team. The one aspect you could give them is a lack of information in the mid round. Yes, you've got your one player towards connector, but without even a lurk towards that A site, it just didn't give them anything. It didn't give them that inkling that B was ramped up with quite a few individuals. At least for Source sakes, they've still got money behind them, but it does rest on round 24 being successful.
13-10. Still 3 rounds, the difference here. Sora in the lead, and they're having another buyback in this round. The investment of the AKs. Alex tagged up, just tagged up in that engagement towards short. Pretty even on the HP numbers. Martinez is orb. To find the lineup, he only gets the 1 kill. Roman, a little bit off angle against the player behind him. Jerks flash forward, legged up, still gets his kill to a 4 on 4.
Alex try a trade. Story not holding the cross, and now the bomb gets dropped out in the open. Jerks can't even swing, he's too low to trade.
It's a massive information play. Just going to engage against the sword to try keep it back in. It evens 1 HP for him, though. And no kills found for Saw.
And that could have been the response right there from Just. That looks to be a bit of a sitter outside of Monster, and it just doesn't get granted. What a round coming through from Alex to back up his teammate. Just where Martinez fell.
Massive mistake made on Story for me. Opportunity wasted to hold the man advantage. Utility's being thrown down towards that B side. Muterus going to hear it. Bomb on his back. 100 HP for him. He's got to be the forward player because his teammates have 16 total. Just now going to go down easy. So it's these 2 players on the site offensive. Muterus checking position. Mopoz's AK. Not seen. Bomb tapped. Could get spotted. Straight through the wall. Bang. AWP also got hurt there. Jerks. We've got all to do and won't do jack. It's 11 now for Movistar.
That's a nice hold coming through from Mopoz. Not over-rotating, even when that walkout comes to be. You can just see Martinez. The idea that he gets a kill and the leg shot, which of course puts up that low HP, and then the orb just gets a little bit too wide around the corner to long, focusing on that trade towards the bathrooms, and instead it just means that Alex is able to pick him off. Movistar Riders coming closer to tying up the scoreline once again.
The harsh eco as well for Saw. No utility, no Kevlar, no upgrade pistols. It's just the straight blocks across the board. Nade damage done already to that T-Con angle. Muteris, Roman, Jerks, Story, all tagged up here. Jerks, the worst of the case. 17 HP for him already. Make their way into mid and connector though, so they have some bases to play from.
Establish the crossfire. David G and Mopoz just to be able to pull more distraction over, and it's an easy cleanup. It is only just a Glock round. You do get a dink off onto David G, but it's no more than just going to create a pick or any sort of further impact. So the difference now. Saw back onto the rifles. Haven't seen a massive amount of AWPing on the second half towards B from the likes of Martinez. He's playing a lot around Divider in the bathroom, so that's something that's going to be on the minds here, Saw.
Looks to have his eyes set on that position once again as well. Alongside Alex on the defensive line. 3 players out towards that B site is standard for Saw. Where do they go with this? Out towards T-Con to potentially challenge that player initially. Nades on, sprays through for Alex. Return damage under the CT side of the wallbang attempts. Alex in go. Still caught in the jump face. Roman gets a mistake back for the CT side.
That just beats them with pace. Up there towards the top of connector. Now you got Moppers and the AWP close behind. This is very pacey.
Rush in, and Martinez lands one. Roman responded 2. They got the M4 also with the crossfire. Mopoz baiting Muteris close. Incendiary is also sent down. Story to wrap the corner. Spray gets both of them. And Saw cannot catch a break anymore.
Now this has been a couple of class rounds from Mopoz in a row. We saw it up there towards the truck to deny the bomb from going down and to make any impact to the A players. And then right there, Incendio goes through. They're going to take damage, and he's able to deal with both of them. Stay alive on a triple. Even backstab his way forward up towards that party position. Martinez catches just towards the top of connector. Frustrating there for Saul, knowing that you had an opening pick towards connector. They tried to bring more acceleration forward to the front side of bathrooms, but instead got trapped between that AWP and Mopoz.
Just too short-sighted. So focused on getting those picks in, rushing out towards the bathrooms and just falling right into the trap that was set there by the Movistar Riders. The Eagles Tech 9 P250. Scout in from Muteris. Half invest for Saw. Wondering what they can do, thinking that Saw might concede the lead at this stage.
They need a little bit of one of those steal rounds, don't they? Remember back to those in the last map. On the T side, of course, come through with a very impactful steal. Now, you got Alex close towards the bathrooms. No crossfire, no one behind him.
Jump around the corner, Alex kill found, Roman does respond. That's all important. A rifle to work with now.
Even Martinez thinking about being slightly more pressed out here towards the bathrooms. He's got a teammate behind him of Mopoz that can look down the banana sight line.
Works in, caught. Wanting some breathing room for his teammates. That M4 blind spray did his work and just going to capitalize upon it here, but Mopoz with a responsive. Smokes back in. That's a flashbang, excuse me. Muteris scope in, as now he loses his teammates. All on him in a 1 versus 3. Not going to land it.
Now, closing being a difficult factor here from Sword, just to get it over the line, get it closer towards that map and serious point. For Movistar Riders, all the emphasis is now going to be on to the next rifle round. 5 rounds in a row to the CT basis without even a bomb plant. Very convincing here from the Spaniards.
I'm sure I'm taking a tactical right now. And they're not opting to do that. AWPs, AKs, M4s. The work's coming in for both sides. Of course, Movistar Riders can afford whatever they want to. And Saw into position. They play the defaults out. They've been sussed out more times than not. Gagement here. The AWP is Gagement here. The AWP is Story on short. A similar story for his own right. Utility sent in with the nades down. That offer on 37. Movistar Riders got the start, and now Roman takes a lot of damage in it. T-Con, but just opens it up.
Now there's that response. Yes, you've taken damage into Con. Yes, you've lost quite a bit out of T-Con, but out there to the monster position, and Story is hoping to try and force David G out.
Nade sailing a little bit too far past him, top of the toxic barrels. So he maintains his position without being seen, without much damage being done. Advantage still sits with the T side, and flashes look pretty good. The Incendiaries are also thrown on. The counter Molotovs of the T-side line. Muteris engaging. Davi somehow wins that fight. So does Mopos. Two of his own. Saw on the execution basis. Looks so confident. Roman charging in with low HP. And that's suicidal. Dropping the bomb in water. Story with a responsive. Another clutch for him to take. Will he make it successful this time? Can't see Davi. And jumps into Martinez in heaven. It's map point for Movistar Riders.
Another beautiful sequence coming through from Mopos. Getting a multi-frag. And just did a lot in that round. Opened it up. You could see the way that they tunneled their way to the left side, to the right side of the pillar, and they just can't break the trades. They can't break that crossfire at all. Even Roman tries to get aggressive, thinks, okay, I have to make a play. I have to try and put some pressure down onto the short water while you've got your AWP looking up to heaven, but not to be. 15 now for Movistar Riders.
A broken buy with the Galils coming in, 2 to make up to overtime. Movistar showing that they're not done yet in this matchup, it seems. 2 map points to play with. Work their way into the monster control for Saw. Muteris, look at his position. This could be massive. He snuck past them. Engagement found Davi. And they're only able to get 1 before Muteris gets 2 on the trade alongside Roman's responsive. It's a 3 for 1. And the backstand that might be negated by the bomb plant.
Just when Alex found so much out of T-Con, the fact that he can stack up the B side because of it, Muteris just walks through short. No one accounts for it at all.
Flashes in from the CT player. Martinez caught. Muteris takes him down. Grabs that AWP and Saw themselves are not done yet. Alex to look for exits here. Now he's been seen. Saw are going to completely evade him.
That was a very strong round from the IGL there of Muteris. Just allowing himself to pick a gap. You've got players out towards the monster wall. You've got the emphasis down there towards the pit angle. And he just is able to slip right through. No one sees him coming. 1 more to OT. 1 more for 16-14 to send it to map 3.
Round 30 will be played. This entire regulation position. With our very eyes. The question is, who comes out on top with it? You saw take it to overtime. Do Movistar Riders nip it in the bud? Or Pimp and Martinez expecting the tower boost. It won't be seen here. Movistar defaults against Saul.
Just keeping eyes on for that boost position. Got a very heavy stack out towards the B side again. You've got a single player down on A, and it means that Alex is the only player that can jump spot. Even he's got to heaven. They're playing 5 on B right now.
Another gamble stack, but is it a trap that Saw will fall into again? Apparently not. Defaults rotating away from connector up towards T-Con and park position. 2 players break away from that stack and try to hold the A defensive, having seen absolutely nothing in connector and short.
Wild call from Alex there. And now focusing the attention back up, like you mentioned, the over-rotations. Doesn't see anything up towards the close left-hand side of the headshot angle. There might be a duel into connector for Jerks, and actually he loses it.
That's not good. 1 man down. 4 left in the round for Saw here. That bomb yet to commit. And now that they've gained the short control, they basically have the entire stack towards the A site, just with 3 players on the site itself and 2 to rotate in the backstab. So Saw another great angle against Roman and Muteris, finding Roman for the 2K. Muteris about to charge straight in again. It's so overly aggressive from Saw, and they'll pay the price for it. Just got to go back for that bomb. He's in a 1-on-3 clutch for the ace, and about to run right into the hands of Alex, who is creeping up closer and closer, hugging the corner, ready for the spray, and a shot that takes the map at 16-14. We're off to the 3rd. man up against this. Davy G with a kill onto Story. Damage done to Mopos. Martinez taking a bit of a tag. Roman and Jerks to fall. And the order has been restored in server for Movistar Riders.
And there was a lot of chaos in that round. You can see out towards the squeak door, towards Hut, there's just a lot of press. A lot of the front footing. CT's trying to get in front and make things very wacky, very out of order. It only presents 1 kill, which is a shame, considering how low Mopos is, and even Davy G down to 41. Muta is trying to see if he can get away with one more fight. Movistar Riders for the 3-0.
Kill for Mopos. And Saw now have the weapon buys. What they're looking forward to the most to get themselves started on the CT side. Try and mount up an offensive on Nuke.
Yeah, the last time that we saw in an Elisa event was back in the summer of 2021. They had a very good main Swiss run, going 3-1. They faced off Endpoint in the first round of the playoffs and lost to them. So they've taken on Endpoint again, only yesterday, this time around. They want to try and see if they can go further, get into that semi-final position, try and see if they can taste the land spot.
3-0 for Movistar at the moment. Saw gun set with the AWP and the M4's out just as M4 is going to look above the hut position. I'm hearing ticks. I think we're getting a stop call in from one of these sides.
Okay.
Yeah, not live at this moment. A small tech pause. Apparently Alex has crashed, so we should be seeing disconnect in a moment's time. Movistar not be allowed to make any progress for the time being, so small moments respite, Dwayne.
And what do we think of the young man of Sasul? Of course, him and Arky, the coach there of Saul, played together on QoS during the Blast Pro Series Madrid 2019 play-ins. So quite a little while ago that they shared some history, but I think we've seen some decent signs from him today.
It's been all right. He was bottom of the board for Overpass, though, so it's not been completely foolproof. It certainly was fantastic on Ancient, though. I'll give you that. Top fragger of the server, so deserves all the plaudits in the world.
He did have a better first half, that has to be said, of Overpass. There's no doubting there at all. See if he can turn things around. And even just for Movistar Riders as like an overall picture, I think we've obviously seen the rise from them in the last year. And now this just feels like a common rebuild. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some months. It's going to take some hard work to get yourself back to that position. And I think for a lot of the tier 2 squads, once you start getting that taste of tier 1, when you lose your edge and you dip back down, it can be so tough to get back up there.
Three 3-0 start, of course. Movistar Riders coming into this map up. Alex is back in server. We're going to get back into the gun rounds here. Saw trying to engage upon them. Orp in a Story. Hunt for kills found against the T side line. Getting towards the outside, might catch a player. Tunnel vision and doesn't hit the headshot. It looked like it was a little bit off, and Alex capitalized upon that, punishing the AWP.
Now, anytime you peek out that wide with the AWP and you miss the connection, you're a goner. You are a dead man. You are going to struggle to get back to safety. Now, while that's happening, Just is going aggressive into Hut. They want to try and find a return frag.
Saw pick up on Just 5-on-3 now for the Riders. M4's in. Molotov sent over. Try and block them. Jerks will hold back at the M4 still. They'll press on towards that ramp control. And Jerks is ready to try and receive the Molotovs. Continue pouring in. M4 for the swing. Davy gets caught for it. That's one trade.
And Mopos not even in a position that he could peek on the contact. Instead, going to hide back towards a corner. Wait for Ujerks to get out to the open. This could be a great chance to be able to manipulate the round. Does get dinged in the process, so still plenty of damage.
Brian gets found by the T side, though. 4-on-2 for Movistar. Saw contend against the two players up. Alex sneaking in towards the observation window. Mutarus could get caught back here at ramp. Does find Mopos to return fire and get the kill that Ujerks has started. Smoke's set, and now Martinez catches him with his own back turn. So frag found, Roman left alone in the 1-on-3 clutch.
Opportunity now just to hold on to the M4. There'll be nothing else that presents itself. Now, they do have max round loss bonus, but things are not great. If they would have had 2 rifles being saved, you could think, okay, Roman drops, maybe Mutarus drops as well. One person buys themselves, you get a full rifle round in. Not always as easy when you've only got one player saving.
One gun held in for Roman. Little something for Saw to play with. For now, though, it's 4-0 for Movistar. Three guns staying with 3 players alive, looking pretty fantastic at this moment. When do Saw find this response? Do they find the response?
I want to see more out of Roman, that's for sure. I think he's been very quiet across this best-of-3 series. It was a guy that I wanted to highlight at the beginning of the series. Did very well against Endpoint. Normally one of their standout riflers. We've seen some moments, but not the consistency. Even coming into map 3, it was only 28 frags and 38 deaths. I think they'll need to get a good performance out of him on Nuke if they want to try and get this over the line.
M4 in for Roman, going to try look around the corner. Seeing where Davi is on that boost. Of course, M4 revealed now and tagged up to 48 HP. So not the start that they wanted out of the hero rifle here.
And knowing that even for Movistar Riders, just start working the outside control. There's a couple of upgrades around this M4. If Roman gets any lower, he might have to chuck that over to a teammate.
Off the utility back and forth from the Movistar Riders side. Roman has got options to pass that M4 about towards Justin Muteris. Muteris in particular is the closer player towards the outside. Just a bit too further extended out towards that hut position. The smokes down, come through towards Mini. Footsteps being heard. Roman's going to try stand and fight here.
Just play out from credit, put yourself in an advantageous position, spam through, even Mopos towards the top of main, just can't see anything. Muteris just trying to drive distraction, get down towards lower, make a lot of noise in the process.
Out of the way, Roman does pick up that kill on Mopos, and now he's going to get forced back here. The CT backups has seen them coming in towards that garage position, so that's the kill returned by Alex. Damage has been done, and just will fall back in trade. Meanwhile, Muteris, the 5-7, kicks off against one frag. Alex is still low. Dabby's around the corner, though. He's going to get back in towards the vent position. 3-on-3, Story undetected. Going to wait until that bomb plant tries to come through. If they go towards the A site, 16 seconds. Movistar Riders are running this real low here. This could be so workable for the man on site. Story engages, the Eagle fires away, does damage, no kills, backups there, but now he's alone in Muteris, 2 HP.
Oh, this 5-7's not going to make it happen. That's a huge round for Movistar Riders, because I didn't think they were going to win it. When I think about how low that is, that you've got Muteris into the vent, you've got a player down back silo and a player heaven, with that sort of setup, that should be done. Whether it's an eco round or not, there's just too little time and too many positions to clear. And Movistar Riders actually come out on top on that one. Saw would not be happy losing that round.
5-0 for them. Tactical taken by the Saw side because they are struggling to get started here. This map up has seen some very one-sided decimations against the Movistar side. 16-8s in the previous history. Even got 16-9'd by Bait. Saw, again, should be favoured in this context, but right now they are just struggling to get themselves spooled up here. I know it's a late night, but can't afford to let it go now. 2 tacks called back-to-back by the Saw camp. Extra time to discuss things and figure out the game plan here.
Now, last week, we actually saw Movistar Riders playing for the win in one of the local derbies. Nuke was map 3. And there were 3 rounds on the T side gained from them. They had a 10 on CT, so they obviously had a very good performance in that half. But the T side was limiting. So already seeing themselves up 5-0, you're probably expecting a bare minimum 6-7 rounds on this T side. And that's a very juicy lead to kind of work with on the tension of what we've seen from them previously.
Guns are back here on both sides. Saw AWP out for Story. M4s and everybody else here for the CT side. And Movistar Riders, all presence towards the outside control in particular. They have got one man of Muteris challenging. Jerks is watching for the ramp entrance, but nobody's there for now.
Start working outside. Allow themselves to put some pressure down onto Muteris. Try and see if you can see a gap in the smoke. There might be a small amount if they play up close to it.
Not quite close enough for Alex. He was right there. Muteris will back off as the smoke start to fade. Story's watching that AWP in case they've crossed out the garage, which they have done. Shot on Alex. With the utility basis Spray through, flash into the peak forward. Muterus is punished for it.
And that's just one of those duels where you've done everything right, got the information, you get the flash around the corner and you still lose it. Not much you can do about that one at all. Story on that reposition wants to focus on any of the outside players getting deeper, trying to get into hell or lockers.
Frag starts from Movistar, at least Story gets the trade back, looks for the second man outside the mini. Saw where Moppos was making his way away from. Into Secret, he'll look to play. Now Martinez goes downstairs to join Davy G on the B attack.
And knowing that you could force out some of those ramp rotations very quickly, put some pressure on with the molly towards that ramp entrance, means that U-Jerks can't get down there, even the flash over in case anyone's still on the railings.
15 seconds, time is of the essence, and the bomb will finally commit. 4-on-4 situation, the flank inbound from that trophy room gives us all the chance to take down U-Jerks and basically secured a round right there. Meanwhile, Moppos has found a pick on Roman. It's a frag to gain, Story looking in, just a strike towards outside. Moppos will get picked up. That's all towards the A play. The B play finally sees Martinez dealing with Jerks, and Story continuing to get flanked up via the AWP. Oh, what an adjustment that is! If only it led to a retake, though. 2-on-2, Sora held outside of the site. And it looks like they won't commit any further forward than this.
I'm really liking the composure that Movistar Riders are bringing on T-side. So you can see that they're trying to focus the attention down there on observation window, get the bomb down to lower. They've got a late lurk of Sasul in the trophy room at ramp, and another lurk towards main on the top side. And it shows how much confidence they have in that lower take, that they're going to be able to get the bomb down and they're going to be structurally sound. We don't have to worry all that much on bringing mass players to lower, because those lurkers are the reasons why that round is so successful.
Movistar off to a flyover start. And Sora just unable to formulate a strategy, formulate a plan that works above all else. Numbers are extremely low across the board for the CT forces. Muterus trying to play towards outside, getting something out of this. M4 in, sees the flashbangs turned away from them. They see the shadows at the end of the smoke. Two players around it, but Martinez reads it. Roman responds. Responses are almost there against him. 5 points of HP. Does get caught back through that smoke. Advantage hits from Movistar.
And now it's Pacey, a little bit more noisy going down towards that secret control, trying to see if they could bait even the next player up a Story with that AWP to get down there to the lower bomb side. Just is going to be the first point of call.
Engagement spray through, damage done against the first, only the first. Moppos responds to it. Jerks and Story, last two players remaining. There's the frag for Davy, and Story stands alone.
Just getting rolled. Getting absolutely pumped here on the T side. And for Movistar Riders, they're changing up the tempo. We're getting some quicker rounds. We're getting some slower defaults from them. Adapting in the mid portion, allowing a lot of lurks. But just the individual fights, they're looking sharp. They're looking on point.
Movistar's T-sides today haven't been all that bad. I think, especially think back to like the likes of Ancient, for example. How many they got on that T-side half that kept it close when it should have been a rollover from Saw. Similar story here on the CT side of Nuke. It should be a rollover for Saw. They're yet to start things. 7 in a row for Movistar. They're 1 away from winning the half, and Saw might not even get a round for it. Checking out the spawn just in case that there's a hiding CT, a hiding AWP, but that's not happened here. Stays alive for this round. It might just be a half investment to follow a suit here for the CT forces.
And just knowing that Sasul never played Overpass with Partisan, Nuke was like their second worst map. They never played that either. That was always the second ban in best of threes. So you've got a player that's going through into a veto process in Iberian Derby when you don't actually have a lot of match experience on either of the last two maps in recent times.
That's also combining with the fact that 5-map loss streak we've been talking about for Movistar Riders here on Nuke. Quick in for the T side. U-Jerks trying his best to hold on with a 5-7. Basically in, getting a double up, somehow doing some decent work. In fact, he's caught a triple. Moppos turns it back at the trade at last, but that 1-5-7 has brought a massive chance for Saw here, and just might have just thrown it all away.
And peeking before that smoke even goes down out to the double doors, now being opened again. They'll know that Roman's close. Get a smoke down towards Decon, but the player open towards ramp now.
And now here comes Mutus from the backside. Alex in a 1-on-3. Tagged up to 42, 22 in fact, and dead to the right. It's a story. There we go. Saw finally getting around. It was all up to Jerks though. That 5-7 did manic work in at ramp. Shouldn't have got away with those 3 kills, but he did. And Saw reaped the benefits.
Jerks has been very impressive across map 1 and map 2. Actually, the highest leading across the server when it came to frags. 46 kills and 38 deaths, a 1.28 rating on map 1 and map 2. Was the defining factor to where the success was found on Ancient and as close as it was towards Overpass. Now even that round has shaped up the first. They've got to turn it into more though.
Ops and Martinez trying to fire back against them, but not able to catch the headshot. The player up over at Credit Card. The ball is back as well. Going to try and take Mantle in position. And that silo boost. Saw forced to play slow as Movistar Riders will take it passive.
The outside controls where they've been able to find the majority of their success. Into Garage, down to Secret, into Hell, into Lockers, put pressure on. You got Muterus down here towards the lower bomb site already. We've oftentimes seen just in this position.
So Roman falling first here. CT is pressing on towards lobby, so Saul's backed off. Top of T roof instead for him. No CT's going to try and make their way up there just yet. That kill found actually just did go upstairs, and so Saul catches him for it. 5-on-3 again. Saul have been picked apart on his defaults.
And that's Saul not even doing much, mate. Like, he's literally just passive out there towards lobby and T-roof, and he grants a couple of kills just with overpeaks. Muterus down here towards the single door at Decon has been able to deal with one, fall back, and reposition towards a rafting.
He went up the man advantage. 3-on-3 now. Adjustment there for the spray is lightning fast. They somehow come away with these picks. Muterus now challenging down to the site itself. Flash against him. Story's up in heaven. 12 seconds. They have to commit right here. I think they're going towards the upper site as well.
Story, Muterus, tough retake for them. Story can get a flash over. Try and get his IGL up the vent quickly.
Orp looking towards the outside. Flash in hand. Head down the ladder run position. Flashes forward and Story start to back away. Set up an opportunity for Muterus to start peeking forward. That flashbang doesn't catch many players blinded, but not like it matters. Muterus is not leaning in for Mini. Outside, he'll look for the exits as Movistar Riders will claim the half at 8-1 on the board.
Oh, we've seen Saw in a couple of uncomfortable 3-map deciders. I think back to even the game against Sprout in the second round of Swiss. And that was all the way down to OT where they couldn't close it out. 1 to 8 down and losing an extra player. And there's still going to be money on the table, but it was an AK.
And a jump on him and everything, though.
I don't think it's too much of a concern.
Well, they will get the buyback at least. What they won't get as many rounds. 7 onto the good here for Movistar Riders. This T-side half has just been something else. I don't even think Saul are expecting this themselves. Certainly haven't been, else they would have adjusted against it by now. Nades on from Muterus, smokes in hand. Roman, center of the site, just trying to wait for contact and wait for the push.
Hey, you mentioned the result against Bait in one of the open qualifiers. Movistar Riders actually lost to Sashi in the round of 64 in the 4th open qual to the RMR. One of the teams that we know quite a bit here in Elisa. Not for the playoffs, though.
They go towards main Swiss or contenders Swiss? I can't remember.
They got to main Swiss. They did okay in contenders, yeah.
Like you mentioned, though, not a playoff team. Burst through from Muterus, blinded, can't catch any more than just a couple of tags on Alex and Mopos. Significant damage done to Alex, quarter HP on Mopos. Down into the secret positions Movistar Riders will move towards.
Just being very composed in this round, playing off one another, getting the boost up for Martinez to look down towards the double doors. Saw. The first player on rotate is probably going to have to be Story with that AWP to try and hold off.
Scopes heard from Jerks, will call it in would also have heard that drop-off as well. They're trying their best not to give away the information back, but now they're aware of at least 2 individuals. So Story rotates with his AWP to challenge the AWPer of the T side. Double doors back to open. Observation window popped open again. Low timer here from Movistar. Jerks gonna get that kill. Mutrius follows suit on Martinez. Alex will fall. 2 left standing here for Movistar Riders. The bomb's been dropped in the open. And Mutrius, the adjustment to the head, so crispy and clean. So Saul left to save in a 1-on-5 as Saul connect 2.
It just comes down to a very good read there from Saw. They read that to perfection. They allowed themselves to stack up towards lower. And any time you almost even have 2 players towards B, it's going to be difficult to break the site open, let alone 3. You've got the AWP, Muteris, and Jerk, so you've just got so many players there for the party to open up the double doors, force the bomb to get dropped, out to observation window, into single. Second round for Saw. It's been back and forth for the last 3 and 4. It's whether that continues, because if it does, you'd imagine the T's are still going to be very happy with that.
Incendiaries and HEs puts up to Saul. He's set center of the site. Smokes down from Roman. Will try block them in from that entryway. Close the door, in fact. A bit of harder cover available.
Even Story towards outside. We've seen him struggle onto some of the picks. Has not been the map where he's landed all the success like he did there on Overpass. I think we saw some moments of brilliances, some great clutches from him. And on the CT side, we saw a lot of impact. Not quite seeing it here from Nuke.
Minute on the clock. Alex, it's a Saul leaning forward. Hold their positions out in the squeaky doorway, trying to prod up if possible. It's again quiet, again slow. They're downstairs in ramp, trying to look towards that B play. Jerks. It's M4 in the observation window. Smokes up to suppress them. 30 seconds remaining. Molotov's up. Gap in that smoke to play with. Jerks might catch Davy if he's not careful. Check position, there's the kill. They're spamming back and try and drive him away. Double doors will open up for Roman to look into the site itself. Doors closed, Mopos leans in, re-smokes back, trying to reopen it again. And Alex will get caught by Roman. Mutrius drops Mopos, and now Saw have found their footing, they found their rhythm, and they found their 3rd round.
And they're just finding a way to contain that lower bomb site. You can see for Jerks, he comms it over again, start rotating mass players down. Martinez might even fall after time. That could do quite a hit to the economy here for the Movistar Riders. Jerks towards the left-hand side. Does not quite catch off that AWP, so it will stay alive. There will be another buy onto the table. But Saw is starting to read these plays to lower, and they're stacking up the bomb site because of it.
Tactical taken by Movistar. Now hit a bit of a brick wall as Saw starting to get back into this game here. 8-3 still is a leading scoreline for the T-side half. That AWP, of course, will be pivotal towards this buy. You mentioned it should be brought around. There is at least one player that might have issues. Alex down to Tech 9 already. But should see the guns on everyone else.
And just knowing here for Movistar Riders, they're in a very strong position. Up 8-3 on the T side. Just allow themselves to dig deep. Never seen them in an Elisa event before. This is a new coming for them. And I think a team that, for the majority of this year, is very familiar with LAN now. Getting that taste in a couple of the Challenger events, in Pro Leagues, in Colognes, you know, all the big name events. They're getting very familiar. Not many Tier 2 teams get that opportunity.
Default set for Movistar indoors. Outside for Alex's Tech 9. Just M4 top of the heartbeat waiting to receive as Movistar set their rifles in a standard.
Even Martinez focusing that attention back down, waiting to see if anyone in the cubby corner out in garage is going to peek out wide. Instead, it's Story from Secret.
Trying to peek up here, but can't quite spot them. Being very tentative about looking out towards the ground floor and so focused on that silo position where Martinez is holding for a minute on the clock, and Muteris will spot the head but not get the kill.
Story not quite being able to face wide enough to create that AWP impact. Movistar Riders, I wonder when we're going to see more A play, because even with these last couple of rounds going the way I saw, it still leans down to B.
Rush frag found by Story in the end, had to bait Alex very deep into Secret to get that casualty, and it's only a Tech 9 dropped. Meanwhile, the T's work their way towards outside, getting Muterus on a responsive, so a 4-on-4 situation. Jerks now with a flash and incendiary put down towards this hell position. Outside, of course, suppressed. Movistar Riders stall for 30 seconds.
Mopos coming up from heaven. Good info play from Saw to clear out the majority of lobby, but they don't know about Sasul out from the squeak door.
Mopos trying to press. 18 seconds, the AK catching just the advantage, regain Story, responding towards Davi. 3-on-3 situation is even standing, but Story still back towards the B side. 10 seconds, commitment found, bomb could be denied. Oh, the shot misses out for Story, and Mopos gets the opportunity that Martinez needs the breathing room for. Kill on Roman, last man of Jerks gets his swing. Quadra up for the AK of the T side, Jerks checking position and gets the headshot instead, and just clutches the round for Saw.
And that actually might keep them in the game. That is an important clutch to go the way of Saw. The last thing they want is to drive T-side rounds back in for Riders to just end the streak of only a couple. It looked as if Mopos had done enough. Cut that rotate out towards the ramp control, bait out the NWP from Story, and then as soon as Martinez gets that, you think, right, that's it. 1v2. Maybe Martinez is a little bit too wide here for my liking. Doesn't need to be peaked on the contact when his teammate's still coming up into the railing.
That peak for more contact mentality I think they had there. Using the AWP to try and engage first and foremost, that the AK do the rest of the heavy lifting if he went down. The trade to be found, but didn't work out in this case. M4s, AWP, Tech 9s and Movistar inbound with the utility sent up. Smokes to the cross, Muterus' M4 holds ahead of said smokes as the T's make their way outside.
And Muterus is hearing all of this though. I say that, he's only hearing one. A lot of them are being silent on the cross.
Base in with the Tech 9 damage, the incendiary's heard, and now he makes his move in. M4 to engage, only captures one kill.
Oh, they know. They know 100% now. And even for Roman, look how passive he's playing out to the single door.
Engagement, Mopos drops 5-on-3, bomb in the open, trying to make it 2, but Sasul trades back, and now Jerks left alone for it. Spray through, damage continuing to get down to the T-side line, or firing away. Martinez caught, Jerks finds Sasul, Alex left alone, does catch at least one player without the ammo left in the magazine, but ultimately it is a round for Saw.
And this is now the Portuguese starting to spiral things up. They were down 0-7, 1-8, and now 4 on the trot to go their way. Now, I guess towards the tail end of the half, even if you run the streak all the way, it's not going to be an impressive first half, but it will be one hell of a recovery.
Wouldn't be great for a CT side to be down on this margin, but at least it's much better than what it was looking like with Movistar Riders' confidence. Saw so slow to start here on Nuke, but since they got that first round, they have not let up. Guns in. AK's a standard for Movistar, trying to prod out towards Squeaky Door, being a bit more slow with their defaults again. They hold their nerve.
I'd just like to see fake outside smokes to a topside hit. I think that they're using ramp and outside way too much in these last few rounds, and that's where Saw have been able to start working back. We haven't seen an upper hit in so long now.
A little over a minute on the clock, and they are trying to prod towards ramp. Jerks. M4 holding at the crack angle. Flashbang against him. He actually prods up to look for Martinez, assuming he was safe. That's a headshot gain. Into the shutter door, he'll hold his position and fall back into the site itself. Alex picked up outside. Mopos will also drop in the interim. It's a 5-on-2 for Saw.
Now this round's pretty much over. Nothing that's been gained at all. No answers back. No incisions with map control to get a lurk forward. That's Sasul and Davi G. Might just hold on to the AKs. Max round loss bonus behind them, but you've still got util, you've still got armor and an AK. No point wasting it.
Keep those guns in. Round 15 calls upon some rifle bases for Movistar Riders. Of course, max loss bonus will be in effect. But without these 2 rifles, they kind of need to ensure that they have a buy with them. So Saw finding themselves their 6th round, 5 in a row in this tail end of the half. As you mentioned, Blake, a massive recovery for them.
And just knowing that they're making it close, they're making it competitive, because that's what you want. You don't want to blow out in the last map of this series when there's so much on the line, when it is one of these Iberian derbies. You want it to be tight, and map 1 and map 2 showed us that. 16-12 for Saw on Ancient, their map pick. 16-14 for Movistar Riders on their map pick of Overpass. You come into Nuke, okay, yeah, it's only 6 rounds on the CT side, but it's still 5 in a row. It's giving the fight back to the Riders.
Advantage still held by them in the scoreline and will be at the turn of the half. But Saw will make it as close as possible with one more good win on the CT board. They've got the M4s, they've got the AWP, a Galil set for Alex over on the T side meanwhile. Set positions in at lobby, out to the ramp entrance.
Even Alex towards outsides, trying to see if he can force Muteris further forward. Out to ramp has not been successful for these last couple of rounds, but again, seems like they want to lean that direction again.
Making it slow still, Jerks be the only player on the defensive line. Backup could arrive in from hell. Bunny hop attempts, footsteps heard, kill found, spray through. Mopos will find the trade back, and the AWP quick to get back in alongside Muteris. Meanwhile, was outside, reducing these two players out towards ramp control. Martinez and Sasul, 2-on-4. Not quite a 1-on-4 being gained there by Roman's face, but either way, Martinez will face with that bomb, trying to get a little bit too far aggressive. They need to get that plant in soon. Close the doors, get it down, set up the post plant.
And not even speed. Sasul out to the open, players all around. Might not even be able to get the bomb down, knowing that there's just so many CTs around you. Could try and go back up to the vent to the top site.
Nice hand at it. If he can find anything at all. Working outside of that vent control, hoping he can catch a shot or two, but something is just not being found here. Story's all shoulder spotted. Finds the angle, finds the shot, finds the kill, and finds the round to make it 7-8 for Saw. Movistar holding the lead, but they held that 8th round for a long time and were never able to push past any further than that. What was looking like it was going to be a one-sided map has turned into a close affair again.
And I think I've got a rip in here, Jake. Like, I'm honestly lost for words. I don't know how it's 7-0, 8-1. Ramp control to low is not working. Outside to low is not working. And yet I see the same thing every round to the end of the half. There was no adaptation. There was no outside smokes to upper. It's like the A side didn't exist towards the tail end there. And when everything that you've been going down to B doesn't work, surely someone's got to come that over to adjust.
It's not like it was like a fast rush attempt that just kept hitting the wall and made it look somewhat exciting. No, it was a slow default into the same hit over and over again. I'm with you there. It did not work for 6 rounds in a row. Now the pistols are pulled in to try and make something work here for the CT side. The change-ups have always favoured Movistar's early start in these halves, and Saw will try to take the pace back towards them. Martinez in at the window, trying to face on Jerk, seeing him towards the site itself. Mopos drawing attention to the double doors. Martinez gets that kill. The crossfire lot. Martinez will fall back to a 4-on-4 situation, but it's further CTs inbound, trying to get to the site before the bomb gets planted. It will go down soon, but they've lost the advantage on Saw.
And putting pressure down towards these double doors. Even just going to try and open it up. Drew, drive that fight out to the open. Dealt with Mopos, Davy G to fall as well. Alex out to the open, does get away with one, but the trades are good. I like that pressure from Saw. Rather than just focusing on trying to get the bomb down to the back of the site, put the intent down to observation window and to double doors, and they come out successfully.
Fantastic equalizer there by Saw. Pistol gained for them, not allowing Movistar Riders to pull ahead once again, and now can start to usurp them, get back into the lead. 8 apiece, forced buy-in from the CT side especially will aid them in that regard.
And this is where, for Saw's sake, you can actually see a recovery with a bright light, with actual success towards the other end. You've tied it up 8-8. You're now up against a force buy. You win this. We could be looking at 10-8, 11-8, like if they can get started with momentum.
Pistols trying to see if they can engage upon the close range positions here, particularly Davy G that might take contact first and foremost against Muteris. Being very wary and twitchy this position though. Movistar Riders are seemingly on edge here.
Even Davy G just maintaining any of that control down to the lower bomb site. Martinez towards outside with the scout has spotted quite a bit, hasn't been able to manage the damage just yet, and actually gets dropped by Just.
That's the rifle gone. The pistols left alone. Movistar Riders won't even get a chance to bring it back either. Saw have taken full control of the heaven position, now downstairs Secret control from Davi, the only player to defend it. Backup will be a bit slow to rotate to position. Mutarist gets the Saul. Davi G with one decent shot, Josh with a decent responsive. There's two left in for the CT side, seeing whatever they can find, if anything at all.
It'd be great if they could take more players out of play. Like, allow yourself to drop Mopos, to put pressure onto Alex, because you don't want the CTs to bring anything forward into the next round.
And kill for Mopos at least. Sure that it's not going to be as easy for them to get these rifles out of their hands. Nade sent with the Molotovs down, scattering Mutarists and Jerks. Melt away there from the AWP, fall back towards Hell. Scout needs to stay for the next round. Alongside the pistol Kevlar for Alex. Exits at best. No round here for Movistar.
Saw taking back that lead. Movistar Riders. Even in the next, you're not expecting a huge amount, a slight little amount of upgrade here or there. How close do you reckon we're going here, Jay? Do you reckon like it's one of those 16-14s? We're getting that sort of vibe?
I mean, that's entirely possible, right? Like, we saw 13-9 on the last map, and then Movistar Riders got, like, what was it, 6 in a row or so?
Yeah.
So, anything's possible at this stage with these two teams. Like, we've just seen such ridiculousness over the course of the entire series. Like, even the first map was a bit of a shocking start. I thought Movistar Riders were going to get stomped on the opening half, and that didn't happen at all. So, at least have the advantage. You can almost guarantee that this round will also be to their success. They got 5-7 support back in and dropped over towards the other CT players. Not a forcing best round, but more of a light eco. Alex's Deagle will find Mutarist to start.
We've seen some good digs on eco rounds when it comes to Nuke. I think back to Shock. What he was able to do with the Sinners. Up into this round, Saul being wrapped in a pawn. Davi G actually doing very well with this 5-7.
Story gets 2 to return and triples up through the smoke against Alex. That bomb's still in the open though. Martinez, I don't think he's a known entity just yet. Both players are low. This scout could actually connect these two shots and get the kills in as necessary to clutch the round, especially as Just goes down and that bomb is in his sights.
Story is going to have to try and use his util effectively. He's got a smoke and a flash, but he also doesn't want to give the info away. Martinez over towards the AK. Doesn't have any
Smart
armor.
Call. I think it's a smart call. Headshot onto the helmet of Story would be good enough. Again, he's paranoid though. He doesn't know where that T-side player is coming from. Could be Mini, could be Squeaky, could be Hut, could be Heaven. Could be anywhere. Story. Press the issue closer and closer. Martinez, it's all down to timing. That's all it is for him. The headshot also requires back his turn. Story adjusted upon, and that's why you switch to the AK.
Cool, gets a little bit lucky towards the end there. I mean, like you mentioned, it is timing in those sort of 1v1s. There's nothing that you can do to outplay one another, but to hope check the right timing at the right position. And for Movistar Riders, that's a huge deal. That's a massive round. And even Story put up quite a fight. He ended up finding quite a few kills towards that squeak door position. But Davi G, with that bloody 5-7 back there from Triple, set that whole round up.
Not the first 5-7 play we've seen so far in this map up either. The Eagles and 5-7s, the pistols of Nuke. And the even scoreline gain on Movistar Riders, 9 apiece. Like I said a moment away, anything could happen. We could be seeing a massive streak from here. We could be seeing Saw clap back. They're going to force the issue for round 19. And the AUG out from Mopos, so literally anything can happen.
Yeah, there's been quite a few stills. I think back to Ancient and the way that Saw closed it down. I mean, we saw 3 stills in one half for them. So definitely used to it by now. Yeah, Org outside, that's not a bad choice.
AWP also in play for Martinez here. Needs to open up the squeaky door for the T side. Smokes ahead of the Molotovs put out there. Extinguishing the flames in the end as they attempt those blind fire shots that don't connect to anything.
Saw are going to look to see if they can explode out towards ramp. Now, the Org is playing deep into the back of Orange. This is going to be a difficult spot to siphon him out into the open.
Mopoz posted, gets 2 picks in. Jerks trades it back, and the AWP will just wait here. Flashing against him will keep him blinded. I think they're aware of exactly where he is. Scoped up again. Shot to connect towards Jerks, however, reduces Saw to 2.
A lovely positioning there for Martinez. Not over-peaking, but allowing himself to be wide enough to catch one with the AWP. And even Sasul down here at the lower bomb site just has to waste time. He doesn't even need to fight. Play it retake. He got 4v2.
The Molotov put up there does force him back, so does enable the bomb plant to come through from the Saw side. Open for the double doors, and now both players backing up towards ramp. AWP and Martinez, is he ready for this? Close personal range, spray through, connects it. A man advantage reduced now on the Movistar Riders. They make their way into the retake.
Movistar Riders don't have a smoke, so nothing they could put down onto the bomb. They've just got to try and drive these fights out to the open from ramp.
M4 burst through, WG blinded, making their way forward still. The fuse kits are on 2 individuals. Alex going to provide covering fire onto the bomb. Will tap it once, forcing out Muturis to position. They've got to get on it right now. Kill found against the wrong player though, but they line up anyway. Muturis and Roman hold it together, hold the 10th in the lead for Saw.
2v4 in by the vets. Mate, that's what I want to see from those veteran guys there from Saw. The experience in the crucial rounds to come out on top. And for Movistar Riders, they panic without the util. They're trying to tap the bomb, they're trying to see if they can get a body block, and it's messy. And it means that Muturis and Roman make that look like a cinching round.
Expect that experience to pay off in moments like that there for the Saw side. Eco around now for Movistar. Got pistols pulled out, the USPs on 4 players, a 5-7 for Mopoz as well. Smokes down, just up and over ahead. Knife pulled out, might even run right into the player. Oh no, Davy saw him first. Kill found, 1,500 bucks gain and a free AK.
Try and get that to the hands of one of your teammates. Mopoz with the 5-7, hoping for that ramp explosion now because of it. Saw. Just need to make sure they stay composed and they don't make this round scrappy, because we've seen what steals can happen. We only saw it a few rounds ago.
Alex has the AK at the backside, but 20 points of health for him to deal with them here. Got back up in Martinez's USP, might pull distraction. Allow that AK to insert these scopes of the AWP scene. Alex does get caught. Backstory missing the AWP shot, so he's in the hands of Martinez. Now turns on Muturis to a 2-on-2. Bomb plant has been denied. So Saul leaning in with the USP next up here. And Roman's not checking it. Bomb can get planted. Would he go for blind taps? Doesn't seem to be the case. Ujos with his back turn. Roman tagged. Martinez now has the info to work with.
HE placement's pretty good. Out there to the back of default, but he's got to try and force them in the open. Roman's going to reposition back towards the squeak door now.
No Kevlar, no kit. Doesn't mean no chance, though. Diving down, no scope lands, but Jerk's quick to trade it. Keeps it at 11-9 for Saw.
Well, they're making it tense, aren't they? That's another close round. Very down to the wire. And for Movistar, they nearly had nothing. They had the upgraded 5-7, mainly USPs. That's expensive, and this is where economical management has just been down the drain. It doesn't even exist for the T side. So for Saw, if they lose on no loss bonus, you've got just Roman and Jerks on double eco status.
Saw need to find this round. It's a big swing one. And quick into the A site they'll go. Smoke suppressing the CT players. Can't see them on top of Hut. And the kill will come in from Roman as he checks it in the end. Alex picks ahead of that smoke. Flashbang assistance gives Roman the headshot. 4-on-2. It's 12-9.
What an important round to win, and win convincingly when your money's on the ropes. And for Roman, just look at that entry path. The way that he's able to come out of the squeak door, focus his attention to the back of the site, up there from Hut, and he just does damage. Even catches Alex running through that main smoke, trying to get into trouble, trying to see if he can provide some level of crossfire. That's an excellent round from Saw.
$12 on the board. Orp and M4 saved in, of course, from Movistar Riders. At least a little something to bolster around. Mention the eco basis for Saw, double eco status for 7 individuals. Not quite the same for Movistar. Money basis is kind of there. You're probably seeing drop weapons from Mopoz here. Saul, Alex will have the concern. Davy G can buy. I imagine this might end up being a force up here.
They've got to think about long term. I don't think it'll be a force. Buy it down, max round loss bonus. I don't mind this. Give yourself a little bit of a lifeline to upgrade slightly around the rifles that you've got. But this is only one CT round for Movistar Riders. You want a good buy behind you.
We've got an XM in play for Davi. Ready to receive them coming out of the gates into the site. Set just doesn't look the right way at the right time as kills pouring in for Saw. Instant execution works so well. And Martinez and Mopos are out dead to save again.
And it feels like such a chain reaction where Saw were playing against a lot of B-site plays. We come into the second half and, mate, they're just loving A. We can't even remember how many times they've been down to lower. Yes, there was that 2v4 where Roman and the likes of Muturis played off one another, but these top site hits, man, they're quick, they're pacey, and they're putting rounds up fast.
The 13th to Saw's board. They stack up the T side. They continue to hold their own. We thought Movistar Riders' steal was going to be good enough to get them involved into this matchup. It's not quite managed to happen in that sort of sense. 3 rounds to go before the victory is found, but this is the exact scoreline that Movistar Riders were able to win the last map on, Blake, so what's one more?
Yeah, what's one more? Very good one. For Movistar Riders, it is it's been a wild game here on Nuke. The T sides have actually been as strong as they have when that hasn't always shown it in the past with both of these teams. So probably feel like we win this round, we win the game. Wrap it up.
That certainly would apply. We've got to win the round first and foremost here. Outside control. Working ahead of the diagonal smokes. Muturis making quite the amount of noise here. So Alex will call it in that there is one player down there. The Orpa Martinez is ready to receive him. It's the information misdirection on the other players that might be the concern.
Martinez, what can he find? Gonna get mollied off. Has to either fall back or aggress forward.
He'll fall back. Out in the open with 2 players around that corner potentially. He wants to avoid that if possible. Can only watch the vent entrance. Noise being made, we'll get that called in. Alex is hearing footsteps as well, coming down towards Secret. Muturis against the Orpa here. Martinez not going to receive it. The attempted wall bangs will not work out either.
And they've got to know that Orp's going to be around here towards lower. Around that double doors, out towards observation window. Now, Muteris does fall. Martinez looking to try and double up.
Oh, the leg shot found by the Orpa on the other side of the site, though. Story having an angle. Smokes on towards the observation window. Will keep him at bay. 5-on-4 for Movistar. Molotovs will send Mopos packing. Now he can get sent to the backside. Might do some damage here. Respectively down, but the bomb does not get denied. Ujex brings it to a 4-on-4.
That's a big kill onto the Orpa. And now for Movistar Riders, they've got to get a pick in quickly. How keen are they on the retake?
Hey, I set up. Can't see them. Falls back, leans in, jerks in the dark, keep himself covered away. Crossfire locked the nade down to do some damage towards him, but not that much. In fact, Roman finds Mopos. Movistar Riders reduced to 3, time too far ticked. Kills start pouring into Saul. Just Roman go back towards the favour of Saul. It's 14-9 now for the Portuguese squad. And Movistar, the money lopsided beyond belief here.
Mate, this was 0-7 and 1-8 down for Saw, and now they're up 14-9. Like, how does that happen? Whether it's Nuke, whether it's the CT side, the T side, whatever direction we go in, I can't remember the last time I've seen a monstrous lead like that turn completely 180 degrees.
Guns back. Force invest from Movistar. Look at the SMG just charging forward for Sasol. Senior utility sent down the flashbangs and smoke sent ahead of it. They're trying to make their way out to the site. Davi G is going to fall. The SMG tries to engage one. Mopos provides support. Martinez's AWP gets the man advantage back. Incendiary sent against the Molotov. Out from the heaven control. Just will fall next. And Movistar Riders will hold control of the man advantage The round itself might be a different story.
Yeah, Roman just gets picked off there. Mopos with a triple in there for the hub control. And we needed a little bit of X Factor. We needed a little bit of pizzazz. And I think that's exactly what Mopos is able to find there, shutting down that top side split. And he finds a lot of success individually.
$14-10 for it. Tactical called in by Saul. Their last of this map up. They might only need one though. Buyback will be secured. They will have guns for this round. Can they apply them to map and match point?
I love this tack here for Muterus because this has been 14 out of the past 17 rounds won by Saw. They know they're going to slap him. They know that this is done. But let's not give them any look in. We've given them a CT round. We've given them very few rounds in the last handful. Let's make sure we put that impact on immediately. Don't let the money grow. Don't let the confidence grow. Let's put our impact on now, right here on round 25.
Go to the semi-finals in the next 2 rounds here. So we're going to have a long day tomorrow. They can make it happen here and now. Got to shorten this one as much as possible. Molotov sent, smokes down, Davy G round the corner, spammed up by Roman through the smoke, kicks off the round for Saw.
And what an opener. Davy G just can't do anything about that. A lot of counter utility going down towards that squeak door position, but Saw actually don't go with that opening man advantage. Might think about the double pump.
Molly's in, Hearts, Saw trying to wrap the corner. Shot on for Martinez, Roman to a 4-on-4. Counter smokes up, Jerks making his way back down and dive into the event position. Mopos going to catch them both just with his back turn. Story barely wins that fight against the Saul, and now Muterus has got to do the heavy lifting as the AWP right around the corner swing upon him. Heard the footsteps, saw the contact. AWP takes his shot. Muterus gives a little bit of chase. That bomb is in the open. The wall bangs can return back and forth. Better damage done for the CT AWP here. But they can't get the bomb plant without diving back through the vent themselves.
And just trying to put pressure onto the NWP before focusing down on that vent control. Martinez is going to get baited again from Universe. The shot does not ring out, back to a 2v2.
Now Story reduced to 1. Muterus seeing the face damage being done to Alex, 74 HP. Out of the way here, 30 seconds. Nades down, damage done. Molotov's up and over Muterus. Close round against Alex. The engagement does not go well. And Movistar Riders hang in there to evade match points.
And that's just unfortunate. That's one of those rounds that you have to brush off and say we got unlucky. We got an opening kill in Squeak Door. We go for the vent dive and look at Mopos. He's just in the best position possible. He's literally down there into the vents, and you can see they're trying to cancel. As soon as the first player goes down and Mopos is already there, they're trying to go back up into the vent. But the issue is the bomb gets dropped. And oftentimes, as soon as that happens, that's pretty much the round over from that point.
Nades on to do some damage to Jerks in the back. Minimal done. He tries to take the engagement from Muterus. Alex wins out the triple, in fact. Line up against Jerks and Story. Roman's fallen to Sasol. It's a 1-on-5 for Just in the blink of an eye. This will be 12 for Movistar Riders, surely.
Okay, things are starting to shift around quickly. 3 strong rounds in a row. Just should not even be allowed to get the bomb down. Davy G and Sasol down here into the vents position. Just trying to jiggle off. Haven't seen him just yet.
Shoulder spotted, headshot gained. Molotov in against Assault as well. Covering him off. Isolate the fight. Footsteps heard here. Knows that he's out there somewhere. Assault has no idea. Mopos, similar story behind the double doors. Got to pull out that AK, got to walk his way in with the firepower, but his back will be turned towards one man, and that man will take him down.
And this last burst of rounds have been very convincing here for Movistar Riders. Had Mopos previously, then Alex. The idea that he's at the back of T-Red, and Muterus does quite a bit of damage to him. I think, he'll get a 1-for-1, get traded pretty quickly. No, he stays alive and just puts in so much damage. Saw down to the eco. This could be right down to the wire. I'm sensing a bit of an OT here.
I reckon so too.
On that sort of marker, just knowing that it's 14-12 and you're on an eco.
Again, the other factor, remember to call back to that last map, it did end 16-14 in favor of Movistar Riders, so that's the other possibility I could see being... Mopos finding Just with the nade down, kicking things off again. Not a lot to play with for Saw. Just got these upgrade pistols, and lack of Kevlar in general makes it an eco. Martinez finding Jerks and getting Roman as well.
Just shutting it down. Not giving any respect, any space forward to the eco pistols. Even Story to come out from the squeak door won't get granted with anything. 14-13. Movistar Riders won the difference now. Pressure on both of these teams to be able to close it. To close it down here on Nuke.
Pressure on those top fraggers to bring it over the finish line. Mopoz on 23, Martinez on 22 for Movistar Riders. For Saw, Jerks and Uterus on 21 apiece. Advantage still sits with Saw, but that might be about to change here. CT defensive locked on. Saw investing into the guns to Saul. Does not catch Roman. The vent dive will not be seen. Neither will it be denied.
Alex outside, a little bit further pressed out to Africa. We've got Roman just toying around with the squeak door pressure. Jerks might not even commit to outside, so it allows Alex to perhaps late round get himself into lobby control from the backstab.
Checking for that vent dive in case they missed it. So Saul aggression finds Roman, headshot perfect.
And now towards outside, this should be an easy kill for Alex. Just when Mopoz starts putting pressure on.
Just gets the sword back, just responded to by Mopoz. Story able to keep things at a 3-on-2, and now Alex closes in the pincers of the backstab. An AK for Mopoz, going to let Story cross back. Player on the bomb site as well to defend the A play as he walks in, and Alex continues to make his way around back here. AWP and Martinez might concede the bomb site. This round seems to be Movistar Riders though.
They should be able to get the bomb down, but it's what happens after that fact. Mutis is still alive though, Jay, and we've seen what he's been able to do in these late rounds.
Part of many 2v4s so far for Saw. Smokes in, incendiary thrown to site. Muterus holding the closed vent corner, getting the information back. Flashbang turned away from Story on site. They can make their way to the back. They hold the defuse. They keep the whole round together on the CT forces. They're going to wait for their moment.
And Mutis just isn't peeking. This is so passive on the retake for Movistar Riders.
Smoke against him. Flashbang also trying to send him wide. Engagement against Alex goes awry. Story alone, still watching heaven. Time against the CTs, but the man advantage makes it a negating factor. Diffuse held for 14 apiece. Movistar Riders have equalized again.
And that's a great retake. And it's not often that you see a smoke going down towards that closed vent corner. But if you don't have a volley, that's your second best. You put the smoke in there and he can't see anything. So he's going to have to fight out in the open. There's no way that Muterus just stays there in the smoke. He has to try and fight, at least draw attention away. And Story, as soon as he thinks about the swing out, because obviously he would have calmed it over that Alex was playing out there from Squeak Door, that's when the AWP is just siphoned. Looking straight back to that right-hand side of default. 14-14 with that successful retake.
The rebuy from Saw will be seen, of course. AK's having to force the issue, try to get back into this game. Movistar Riders ridden up their backsides and have now caught up to the Saw side. Muterus, the 42 HP. Martinez's AWP is in the secret position. Muterus checking this, just gets the kill. Muterus able to adjust to Alex, and just like that, in the blink of an eye, similar to what Movistar Riders did to Saw, Saw will do onto the Riders.
Beautiful split towards that top side, and Muterus, just the timing and precision that he finds out there from main. 2 kills almost instantly, within a second of one another.
2 standing for Movistar to hold on to the AK and the AWP. No chance at a retake. Not in a 2v5. It's map, match, and quarter-final point for Saw. Have struggled to close out like they did on the last map. But at least they have the 15. And maybe Mopoz might take some guns out of the play as well. Towards the roof, Muterus takes him back instead. They have money to play with, but no AK save for the CT side.
It's not a huge loss, but it is a loss, and it might be something that we look back of was that hunt even worth it? Muterus, though, stepping things up. I mean, individually, he's been towards the higher end of the board for Saw for the majority of this best of 3. He's up to 24 frags now. And just some of the impact on T side of closing some of those rounds down. Saw, 1 more to go to get the job done.
Round 30 played again. Movistar Riders had the last 16-14. It's only appropriate that Saul will return the favor. But will they return that favor here? Moving out the outside, the AKs on 3 players. First taps on from Alex. Can't get the kills here. Does tag up just. Does see Story, but runs out of ammo to get that kill.
It's got to be quick down to this lower bomb site. So Saul rotating away from the vents position, getting out to the single door. Saul actually halt for quite a while longer. You've still got Roman as a lurk towards the top side in lobby.
Backs away. M4 holding Muterus. Leaning forward to the AK. Engagement. Finds the frag. That's the first gained by Movistar. But Jerks is in for Alex. Just gets the trade back. And Alex cannot hold on.
And now even the smoke down towards that right-hand side. Siphon it all off. Even Roman could go down for the vents position. He's seen no one's coming from ramp.
Bomb plant to old Toxic. Mopos is in ramp, needs just headshot, sees the man, dinks him down to 7 HP. Story gets Davy G though. Mopos and Martinez, no saves this time, but that's 2 kills. Pistol and rifle engaged, the backstab inbound from Roman as U-Jerks now looks to try and hold the site itself. And 9 HP to try and do so. Smoke on the bomb for the defuse, for the ninja stick. Are they really going to get it like this? No, they're not. Saw will push it to 16-14, past the finish line and into the semi-finals.